Welcome to the Spirit of Cricket 2025, live from Mildura. A magnificent day for the start of another week of substance. This is a bit different. We've got more colours out there, only because we have said goodbye to the US of A, we've said goodbye to Canada, and we've said goodbye to New Zealand, who all headed in different directions. We had a spectacular presentation night on the Murray River, which we'll talk about throughout our coverage of this particular competition. Now, Patrick Silcox, who of course has worked brilliantly, and we've had a lot of fun, and we've got even more fun lined up. Our menu for the next week or so looks to be pretty special. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning, Walshy. Great to be back here at the MSP. Things starting to warm up on the weather front as well as we head towards the top of nearly 30 tomorrow. So you might have to pull out the shorts, my friend, tomorrow and see how you go.
Well, I've got the shorts on underneath the longs, if you know what I mean, right, but I won't be undressing here.
So first up in our T20 franchise competition, we have the RJR Allstars taking on the Phoenix Firebirds. Firebirds are going to be batting first, and we'll get our scorecard up shortly. But just for those watching in from home, the Firebirds in the brilliant red and black, and the RJR All-Stars wearing their sky blue. And I'm not sure if that's a black or a dark navy pant from here, Walshy.
No, I didn't get close enough.
It's a good contrast.
It is too. Umpires today. Billy Bowden's there. He's been joined by Alan Owens. Is it out there? I think so.
Yeah.
And we've got Darren Cheek who'll be rendering assistance in our coverage as well. So we've got not a cast of 1,000, but a cast where we can jump from point A to point B and get through what has been a tough couple of days, and I'll explain the reasons why in a sec. I had a word to Billy this morning, Billy Bowden, and I just wanted to get across the message about the passing of Harold Dennis Dicky Bird, the English cricketer and international cricket umpire. Much love due to his excellence as an umpire, many eccentricities. Born in 1933, an off-break bowler and a right-handed batsman. 66 tests. Knee injury stopped him in his football career, but then he decided to move on into his cricketing career. He played in the same team as Michael Parkinson. And later joined by Geoffrey Boycott. So there you are. We're ready to start our proceedings. Blue versus red. This ball wide of the onside and pulled away with venom. That's a good shot. It raced across the turf, which I must say is in magnificent condition. And the Branston ball went quickly, and it flew out to the fence for 4. So he's off the mark, and it's no wicket for 4. 66 tests, and he was in the one-day arena from 73 to 95. Just a top man. First county game was in 1970, and his first test was England versus New Zealand. He finished up his final test, England and India, and a guard of honour as he came out. So to all of those who were aware of his contribution, as I did suggest, as this ball is played down the ground on the onside to mid-on and there's no run, having a quick word to Billy Bowden this morning, going over and shaking his hand. It's a small fraternity, but a fraternity of substance. Everybody knows everybody in that situation, and yeah, it's a sad way of 92 years of age, a long innings.
Yeah, very good dig, no doubt about it. As we continue with Hay. He's going a little bit wide outside the off stump, and the umpire will signal so. Not a lot of bounce and carry through either, which made it a little bit tricky for the man with the gloves.
True.
Managed to keep it just to the one sundry. So they're operating with the keeper, of course, and then a man that's probably at a wideish first or almost second slip there.
He's a bustling bowler as he gets in. Over pitches on the stumps. Oh, that wasn't a bad ball, was it?
Just angling down the leg side a fraction, but certainly Branston looking to leap into his work early in the opening over or so here.
I should mention too, one memory and its anniversary. Just want to mention this too, and we'll get right into the cricket because we have a couple of special guests. One in particular, former Australian cricketer Michael Kasparovich, who's here, and he'll join us throughout our coverage. And we're here for a few days too, Patrick. So did you bring your pyjamas?
We're here for the long haul, Walshy. Looking forward to it as Hay continues. This one's taken down the ground. All fumbled there at long on. They are unable to get through for the single.
And do you realise, Patrick, I don't want to make you feel old, but it's 25 years ago today. 25 years ago. Now think about the year and then think about 25. And I'll tell you something that pretty much everyone, when the information is shared by yours truly, this ball hit in the air down the ground. He's lofted that with power. I'm waiting to see where it bounces. And there it is. It's gone into the fence for 4. Picked up beautifully, wasn't it?
Magnificent strike. It looks like it might have gone all the way, I reckon. It was right out of the screws, as they say. And we're through the end of the first over. And the Phoenix Firebirds off to a great start, courtesy of Tony Branston. 1 over gone, none for 10. So that's the sort of start that a team batting first, winning the toss, would want to get after, I reckon, Walshy. Get that run rate up early while the field are up inside the ring.
That was a 6 too.
Yeah, it was a maximum.
That went maximum.
Big hit.
Yep. Yeah, so I'll put you out of your misery. 25 years ago, today, on the day, everybody's radios, everybody's TVs were honed in on the fact that Kathy Freeman won a gold medal at the Sydney Olympic Games 25 years ago today.
Today?
Yep.
Wow, what a magic moment in time that was.
Where were you when that happened?
Yeah.
Where were you? I was watching an Australian basketball team.
Okay.
And we were only opposite where the big stadium was. And the basketball stopped so that people there, Australia playing in the basketball, the Boomers, and I stood with Luke Longley and watched into
Lucky
the
Luke.
crowd.
Yeah.
It was pretty hard for us to see that many people.
He wouldn't have had too much trouble.
No. Oh, what a moment that was. What a moment. Now this is number 9 who's coming in. And that ball played on the onside and there's no run. So, yeah, the setup was we've got so many memories and we won't be talking about all those memories. Let's talk about what's happening in this world of cricket with Branston on 10 and Vincent yet to score. And remembering that it's 20 overs, it's not 45, it's 20.
And I think we actually had an extra ball to finish off the over with a couple of sundries there that the umpire had missed. So that was the end of Jason Hayes' first one, so none for 12. After that opening stint, as we can see Branston out there with his batting partner, looking to try and get things moving along.
Not a bad start, is it?
David Vincent. No, not at all. Not at all. Beautiful day for it too, Walshy. A little bit of cloud cover. Breeze maybe not quite as stiff as what we had early in the 45 over format final a couple of days ago at this venue. So I think they will enjoy. Current top around 16 degrees. Look at that. So we're working up to, I think, around about 25 a little bit later on today. So, yeah, around about 24, 25. So conditions pretty decent, I reckon, for this style of game.
Yeah, very true. Let's go to the Weather Bureau now. Michael Kasparovich is at the Weather Bureau wearing
He's got his wand flashing beautifully. Got the bomb app out, as you do.
And look, this is information sharing, and I don't know whether we should tell all the stories about our visiting dignitaries, but someone was seen power walking earlier this morning, and his sand shoes were smoking. He was moving along. He was doing a Willie Sewall. Now, that goes back a long, long time as an Australian competitor, but it was MK.
Righto.
Yeah.
Just trying to get himself ready to go for a step behind the mic.
What a thrill it is to have Michael, a former Australian fast bowler. I don't reckon you can ever be a former Australian fast bowler. You've got to be an Australian fast bowler. He fits into that category very neatly, and we'll have Michael with us after the next couple of overs, which will be all good.
And it looks like into the attack is Asitha Korlage. Bowling some right arm off breaks, just giving them a bit of flight, trying to, as we mentioned the other day, get above the batsman's eye line. Always puts that bit of uncertainty there at the striker's end, whether they have to come down, hit them on the full, or try and play them from the crease. Branston has got himself off to a flyer. 11 from 7. We've got the Wasp back as well, which was one of the big features on the NV Play scores last year at Walshy.
Well, I can't remember yesterday, let alone last year. Excuse me. The only feathered friends, or not feathered, there were a lot of moths where we were the other day having the function on
the boat.
Yes.
Okay. It's that sort of time of year with the daylight savings soon to appear. I think they get a bit confused about whether they should be out or they should be in.
Well, I should be turning into a moth then, because I was totally confused. They kept landing on my meal. What does that make them? A hungry moth?
Well, I would have thought, yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good night too, and we'll go through as we roll through today. Those that picked up the nods.
Yep.
And it was good. Yeah, very well organised.
All right, so that's a powerful strike down the ground from Vincent. Unfortunately, it took the leg stump with him, which has stopped the transport of the ball a little bit. But they'll still get through for the single, but probably felt that he hit that well enough to get it all the way to the fence.
Yeah, I was looking down quickly because I thought, well, was there a touch on the follow through from the bowler and went onto the stumps? But no, not the case.
So none for 14 midway through the second. Branston is 12, Vincent 1. And it's Asitha Correlage who's bowling his... Well, that was almost an arm ball. It sort of came out seam front up there. It was well directed. And just looking to try and vary his pace. And that's going to be a key in this sort of format of the game, the variations.
Yes, and I must admit to significant disappointment for something that you haven't done today, Patrick.
Okay. That's beautifully picked up by Branston. It was swinging away from leg to off, but he just went down the line beautifully and hits it into the mid-wicket region and goes all the way to the main fence. That's how well it was struck powerfully that time by Tony Branston. And he's the man to watch, I think, here early doors, Walshy.
Yeah, he looks good. Yes, he clugged that one and picked it up beautifully. You can see the blue dots all over the place. Doesn't the colour look so spectacular?
It does.
Love it. Yeah, love it.
So Correlage is bowling from the Deakin Avenue end. So he'll get back to the top of his mark. He knows that he won't put it in the same spot as the previous one. I expect a little bit further outside the off stump, and that's where he goes. But Branston up to the challenge. Nice bit of work by the RJR Allstars in the field, restricting any chance of score there. So at the end of 2, Walshy, score is no wicket for 18.
Now, Correlage, of course, has the nude nut. He's had the big haircut. Now, I should inform our TV viewers, wherever you are, that I attempted to make contact with Patrick yesterday and I rang early and he said, well, I can't take the call at the moment, I'm having a haircut. Oh, well, fair enough, that's good. 3 hours later, when I rang him, I said, how are you going there? He said, I'm still having a haircut. I said, 3 hours for a haircut? You haven't had enough intestinal fortitude to take the cap off to demonstrate that you didn't make up that story. That's a true story. Did you have the haircut?
We'll check at the end of the over if you like, Walshy.
Yeah, okay? I see that. Yeah, okay. I thought you just backed right off.
Bit of smoke and mirrors for you just to keep you guessing. All right, so we move into the third over now. Score none for 18. Partnership moving beautifully. 18 from 12 deliveries. And our Wasp is predicting that the Firebirds will get to 170 at the end of their 20 overs, which is a pretty decent score. Right.
You'll have to explain the Wasp to those that are not aware as to how the Wasp's name originated.
I think the last 2 words are score prediction. I don't know what the first 2 are. I'll have to dig deep and check that out for you.
Okay.
And that's a pretty decent start straight off the bat there. Going past the outside edge of the right-hander's blade.
That's another one,
picked up by the keeper.
That's Chris Stone, and he's had a haircut too, I think.
Yeah, he's keeping it pretty tight up top.
Yep.
Bowls a little bit of extra zip there, just got through Vincent that time. That one a little bit wide and signalled by the umpire, just to try to bowl into the track a bit more that time. Went for a little bit of extra pace, lost the radar. Of course, extra is important in this format of the game, aren't they? Because they can not only benefit the guys out in the middle, but boost the tally.
Very true. We'll have the voice of Michael Kasparovich coming in at the end of this over. Also be hearing from Darren Cheek, who's assisting with our coverage, as this ball is hit straight back down the ground with power, precision. Now, we didn't see it bounce, but I don't think it went all the way for a maximum, did it?
Just waiting on our replay to come up there, but it was certainly well struck down the ground. Okay, yeah, Billy's just making some notes. So
race 4 or 6, 2 each way. Thanks, Bill. Pass that on.
Scorecard overlay suggests it was another maximum. So Vincent now to 7, Branston 16, none for 25. So this is a very profitable start by the Firebirds. Batting first after winning the toss. They'll be keen to really set the platform here. Foolish ball outside the off stump from Stone. Again, just losing the radar. And another added to the Sundries tally. He's getting some decent swing with that RJR white cricket ball, Walshy. Just can't quite get a control on it.
Yep, that's true. 112 players in this 8 franchise team competition.
It's a better line and length, but it's worked away onto the onside by Vincent. And another boundary. And interesting between the two batsmen there. The non-striker reaches out his blade and the other bloke just punched his glove on the end of it. So that's the way the Firebirds roll in 2025.
Well, it's a good start, isn't it? A very good start indeed.
Boundaries coming freely, aren't they?
Beautiful day here too. You can see in the distance there the vineyards, magnificently manicured, looking $1 million. I have no idea at all as to when they pick the grapes, as to when that happens. I'm not. You'd know all this, and I'm sure
well,
you'd like to punch out all the detail in 3, 2, and 1.
I should know this on the local, but I can't give you any answers at this stage.
Thanks for that. For nothing. Yep. Okay.
There's Vincent again using that long blade, extending and hitting out through the covers, and that one is going to hit the fence right on the out perimeter of the ground. So they are really moving, aren't they, the Firebirds? And Stone, a bit untidy to start off with here. He's gone for a 6 and a couple of boundaries. He's thrown a couple of Charlie Prides in there as well. None for 16. And still hasn't finished his first over yet.
Well, it's a good start, all right. Remembering it's just the 20 overs, so we'll have early lunch the way things are going. They're getting there in a hurry.
Yeah. Oh, and this time he's gone the reverse Malachi. He brought it back from outside the off stump, but Vincent was up to the task as he hits it down the ground. I'll pick up another single. Score is none for 35.
I want to get this stat in quickly because Michael's on his way in.
Yeah.
There's a guy called Simon Dadswell, who's a 20-year-old South African, who just completed. Now, I'm not making this up.
No,
this is dead set.
It's on paper. It must be true,
Walshy. He scored a massive amount of runs. He hit 57 sixes and 27 fours in a 50-over club game, and the score was 3 for 677.
What was
a
his
20-year-old? I haven't got that. I ran out of pen in the
most
biro.
Important part, Pete.
I'll find that out.
Yeah, you should.
But 57 sixes and 27 fours, you can't make that score up. 3 for 677.
Goodness.
Simon Dadswell, a 20-year-old South African.
Okay, so this time there's a big shout. Might have been a fraction high. No, the umpire's going to give it. As you can see, the batsman there, Branston, thought it hit him on the hip, but he was sort of going to ground as he was looking to hit onto the onside. And finally, the RJR Allstars managed to get a break in transmission. They pick up a wicket, a much-needed one at the end of the... Well, is it the end of the third over? We've had so many wides in this stint, I think it may well be done. 1 for 36 as we get a chance to have a look back on the Enjoy Wine Char Grill and Bar action replay. Let's have a look at the height on this one, Walshy. I wasn't so certain from my vantage point. I hit him on the back thigh. It might have been dropping down. The wicket certainly, when we were here on Tuesday, got lower and slower as the day rolled on, so no doubt the man officiating decided that he was in front and he adjudicated him to be LBW. So after 3 overs, it's the Phoenix Firebirds 1 for 36.
Alliance Biograin grows organic grains for strength, vitality and joy. Every grain carries the strength of the land, bringing real nourishment to every table. Because health isn't just about eating well, it's about living fully. Organic nutrition meets senior cricket. Alliance Biograin and CCMC, nourishing seniors, one meal, one match, one moment of joy.
And we're back at the Mildura Sporting Precinct. Pat Silcox, Peter Walsh, Darren Sheik and Michael Kasperich. Great to have you on board, mate. So we had a good chat this morning prior to the game, but got yourself set up nicely and a pretty decent vantage point.
Well, I've been given the opportunity to come here, being part of the T20 Masters Spirit of Cricket tournament. I got the invite to come down. Best part about it was that I didn't have to play. So I said, absolutely, come on down. What a great concept.
Yep.
It's great to see, and this is actually the veterans segment is the biggest growing segment in Australian cricket.
It's booming, isn't it?
Never mind girls, kids, all that sort of thing, but veterans cricket. And in this format, 2020, it is the ideal way to spend a bit of time with your mates.
Yeah, 2 or 3 hours. Someone referred to it the other day, and I like that as we'll just get to this first ball of the 4th over. And Vincent, again, taking it away almost for a maximum on the onside again. It was just pitching, I reckon, inside of the markers there. But looks a nice free swing of the bat from the big fella. He's a long way up, but he certainly uses that extension, that reach to his advantage.
I like it. The skills are really good from the start. 40, of course, runs. And we're only in the 3rd over. Is an electric start. right now, and it's great. The skills are always there. Maybe it's a bit like riding a bike. You know, you don't sort of lose it. I think maybe fitness, yeah.
Yep.
Eyesight is one of those things too that gets a little bit poorer as you get older. But we're seeing some good skills right now.
This one again heaved away out into the onside. I'm going to have a go at Sosnek as the name of the bowler. That's a little bit of a tricky one to get through. I didn't check pronunciations, which was poor form for me. I was too busy having a chat to you this morning on the way in. But no doubt the Phoenix Firebirds, they'd have a total in mind, wouldn't they? They've come out with lots of intensity and intent. They're probably thinking somewhere 180, 200, the way they're going.
Well, that's pretty handy. We've seen that, haven't we? Even scores like 200. I know the smaller boundaries, slightly smaller. 200's on the cards here.
Right, so Ferrugia faces up for his first ball. Nicely stopped out on the ring there. So look to try and hustle through for the single. What I was trying to get at before a couple of deliveries ago, that someone here last week referred to it as a men's shed for blokes playing cricket. I like it. I like it. Over 50s blokes have got a men's shed now. They can come and play a game of cricket.
Well, you know what the exciting part about all this is? It's actually men's wellness. Call it wellness. You know, because you're able to get out, you run, you're active. And I think also for the health side of it is for your mental health also.
As we see Vincent taking a liking to that onside. There was half a chance momentarily there for a catch, but I think there's no doubt Brendan Walsh conceded the fact that it was just hit way too well. And after the start, that was the fly from Branston. Got to say that Dave Vincent is the man at the moment. 27 from 9 deliveries, 1 for 48 as we near the end of the 4th over. And as we said, the score predictors got them up around that 180 mark, so they're in good form. Oh, and nearly the return catch. It was a little bit uppish, well bowled, just outside the off stump, and that is the end of 4 overs. So 1 for 48 here at the Mildura Sporting Precinct. Phoenix Firebirds winning the toss, batting first, and certainly this is a venue where we do seem to see that a lot, even locally, Michael, where it's such a pretty flat track and a really quick outfield. Get them on the board is the way to go.
It's always the way. However, I think in 2020 we've seen through certainly IPL and certainly in the Big Bash is teams prefer to chase.
Okay.
There's a real concept, and that's changed over the years. 50 over cricket, absolutely, bat first and get a big total and pressure will come into it. But with the way that the younger players are playing these days,
no fear.
They absolutely prefer to chase and back themselves to chase down any total.
Yeah. Do you think it's more so at an international level night time and a bit of dew on the ground, a little bit trickier in the field potentially?
Yeah,
as well?
that's a big component as well when the ball just doesn't stop at all, where generally an older ball and an older surface will provide that.
All right, so Chris Stone back into the attack. Certainly getting some good angle. Did he get an inside edge as the batsman tries to get out of the way of the stumps to give the umpire something to think about there? But reasonably close, that one, Casper.
Well, you don't appeal unless you think it's out, do you? I suppose, from a fast bowler's point of view. And look, a little bit there, and I guess that's when the benefit of the doubt, of course, goes to the batsman. How awesome would the game of cricket be? How quick would the game of cricket be if that was one fundamental change to the rules and the benefit of the doubt went to the bowler? Instead of the ball
that's a bowler talking
well, of
there
course,
too, by the way.
Instead of the ball just going down or just missing, it's just hitting.
I like it.
So good.
Being a bowler myself, I'm on board. I'm your number one ticket holder. Here's Stone. Foolish of length. That one's going down. There's no question there as he goes for another appeal. That's probably off the pad for a leg by, I think, in the end, down towards the short 45 on the onside. So Stone's certainly getting a bit of movement with this new ball. He's predominantly going away from the right-hander, but he did show on the previous over he's got the one that goes the other way as well.
He does too. Yeah, I like it. And even then, just the length. Still looking for that Yorker. Nice and full in the block hole. Get up there as well, so giving the batsman no room to get underneath it. Of course, that's the give and take. You've got to get that length right.
The foolish delivery, and it's hit out into the offside, but the Allstars have rung it up nicely there. They've got plenty of protection, so they managed to restrict. So this is certainly a much better over from their perspective, Michael. Just the 2 from it so far, and they've managed to reel that run rate in a little bit, and the predicted score still up around that mid-170s. But wicket makes the change, doesn't it? Gets that breakthrough. Just a fresh man at the crease.
Yeah, certainly does. Look, I think that's the thing, is just finding a way. Obviously, as a bowler, it's executing. You know, if you decide to land a Yorker, it's about doing that every time. But even in the field, just creating that tension, that the pressure on the batsman.
Perceived pressure, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah.
absolutely, and it might just be that great bit of fielding, just to create a chance, something.
Foolish length delivery, quick swing of the bat and away she goes again on the onside. Just out of our camera shot, but I'm thinking it's probably gone the whole journey there because he got into stride very quickly, didn't he? The big fellow Vincent. And I reckon he's batting with a long blade too. He just all wrist, isn't it? He doesn't look like he's swinging hard at it. It's just whoosh, away it goes.
Well, I think that's the other thing too. A full toss at about knee height on the leg stump. He's helped himself to that. But the other thing too, I know we're talking about Masters level. I'm just wondering about, obviously, for the players, being everyone's over 50 and all that sort of stuff. I'm just looking at the bats they're using.
Yeah.
They're real current. They're modern. I'm just wondering, what about a Masters tournament where you got, the gear bags you pull out? There's an old, I don't know, Duncan Fernley attack in there somewhere. It could have been a grey Nick twin scoop.
Oh, the Hooks Hurricane back in the day.
Hurricane. A GN Giant even. How good would that have been?
Power spot, all that sort of thing.
I think that's what, maybe next year, maybe speak to Telf about that. And not to say that... bring the boundaries even in further, but with old cricket bats.
Yeah, well, I know
maybe there's an opportunity to do
a lot
that.
of the manufacturers are going back and to the blast. I know Cooker have brought back a few beauties, the Beast and a few of those other ones from the 90s. Oh, that's a decent shout this time. Umpire shakes his head, my goodness. Not sure what it was missing. It was right on the zone there. I reckon Stone's going to be a little bit murphed about that because he's gone for a maximum on the ball before, got it right on the dollies. Didn't get the reward, but certainly a good follow-up ball, wasn't it?
Well, it was a great follow-up ball there. Have a look at this with the Enjoy Wine replay. Nice and full. Just that little swing in, but nice and full again. Right up there again, just that benefit of the doubt. But have a look at that.
Missed run-out opportunity, wasn't it?
He wasn't thinking, was he?
He thought he was out, I think. He was on the way to the pavilion.
He was just pretty much ready to go, but then hovering outside his crease. But anyhow, that's he's still out there. What a great start. 57 for just loss of that first wicket.
So Vincent is 33. Ferrugia is just the 3. He's only recently arrived out in the centre here at the MSP. He'll be looking to build his tally. Probably what he'll be looking to do is get Vincent on strike because he certainly had the initiative going his way. As we see another bowling change, I reckon, coming in from that Deakin Avenue end of the ground. There's a lot of tactics in this game, isn't there, Michael? Because obviously the captain would have a plan for how he's going to distribute his bowlers in the frequency of overs that they might be able to pull through, but then all of a sudden you'll go for 25 and 1 over and you've got to readdress on the fly, don't you?
It's a game of just adapting the whole time.
Yeah.
Even as batsmen, you have to sort of, even moving around in the crease, because even if a bowler's landing their Yorker, whether it be a wider one or wherever it needs to be, just that little bit of movement in your crease, outside your crease, just changing things up is the key.
All right, so Brendan Walsh has been introduced. Let's see what he's going to offer here. Right arm over the wicket. Oh, foolish again, and it's deposited through the covers and all the way to the fence for 4. Not the ideal start for Brendan, I wouldn't have thought.
No, help yourself, that one. Nice full wide ball, way outside off stump. No danger at all. And just throwing the bat at it.
Yeah.
Connecting. And, we're still got the field restrictions, haven't we?
Yep.
I guess this is the last over. 5 more balls of it, then they can drop a couple more back.
Might look to maybe take the pace off a little bit too in the next stint, I reckon. This one's a little bit harder and into the track. Appeal from the bowler, more in hope than anything else. Probably happy that it didn't go away out to the fence, but certainly much better line as Billy Bowden signals exotically. Billy giving it a real work over there and a kick to finish it off the leg by on the onside.
I thought he was just having a scratch. Or you reckon it's a nervous twitch?
Yeah, well, combination of the both. He certainly brings a lot of entertainment factor to veterans cricket, and the boards have loved having him in town, no doubt. So we get a front-on shot this time. Ball is hit out through mid-wicket. I'll have a man patrolling the fence out there. That's Chris Stone, who fires it back into the keeper. So score up to 1-4-63, midway through the 6th over. Vincent 34, Ferrugia 7. The early man to 4 was Branston. He was LBW to Stone for 16. But a decent start here from the Firebirds. That's much better line and length, just making the batsman compact back onto the back foot, but still times it pretty well. Almost gets out to the boundary there on the offside. And they'll get through for another couple.
Oh, just looking at it too from bowler's point of view, I think that's the ideal length. You still want to hit the top of off. A little bit of, the wicket, I suppose, variation with the bounce and all that. Yeah, certainly to the newer batter in RJR. It's a place to be.
Wide, and that's going to be signalled by Brent Bowden. Just went for the little bit of outswing that time, did Walshy. Didn't quite hang on to it. And these new balls, the white ball I always found, as a country cricketer, the white ball always used to swing a lot more when it was new than the red ball. There's no question. There was something about it. I don't know what it was.
Is
Casper?
Is this one white or pink?
Oh, my goodness. It looks like it's white. We've had a few pink balls, yeah.
Okay. I'm colourblind, by the way.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. As that one nicely played out into the offside. Interesting effort from Jason Hay. Didn't quite get down over the ball. They'll scurry through for another single. Score goes to 1 for 67. You would have used a couple of different coloured balls in your career, no?
There was, obviously red, white, and pink wasn't in. There was, though.
They have one season they used an orange.
We did in Sheffield Shield.
Yeah.
We were the first to do like a day-night Shield games. Yep. There was an orange and then a yellow.
Taking the pace off outside edge. Keeper, if they had the slip in place there, Casper, they would have picked up the wicket. The keeper couldn't quite make the ground. And the man who was at the deep point boundary had too much room to move to cover that one. So away she goes for another boundary. So at the end of 6 overs, score is 1 for 77.
One for 71. Faruja 10. Vincent 38. Branston LBW Stone for 16. That wicket falling with the score at 36 in the third over. Peter Walsh and Michael Kasparovich. And Michael, thrilled to have you here too. Called a lot of cricket when you did play, and you didn't stay in Australia all the time. You've chased your dream. Is it fair to say that? Because you've been away representing Australia in different forms of the cricket off the field, and it seems as if you've fitted into the administrative role as well as you did for your playing role.
Well, I did. I was on the board of Cricket Australia as a director for 8.5 years. I'll come back to that.
I wonder what that was like. You can tell me now. The first ball of the next over is played hard down the ground, along the ground, and there's no run.
Well, speaking with Alan Davidson, I think I was pretty sure that I was the first fast bowler ever, former Test cricket fast bowler, to go onto the board of Cricket Australia.
Why?
So representing minority groups is my specialty.
Right. Just on that, the minority groups, and we've got the chance to talk to you at length as this next ball is played square on the offside out to deep point, and there's no run. When you were bowling for Australia, is it easy for you to recollect just who had the ball at the opposite end when your spell had finished as a fast bowler? So who was in the fast bowling fraternity when you were playing for the Baggy Green?
Well, it was a 10-year period where I played for Australia.
10 years. Oh, right, okay. This ball hit down the ground on the onside, hit with a lot of venom, and it is over the top. It might have taken the hands of the fieldsman down there in the deep, that's Darren Wilton, and then bobbled over for a maximum.
Yeah, he missed that one. No such thing as an easy catch, that's for sure, but he didn't have to move far. In and out it went, and the worst part about it for RJR was that he helped it over the fence for 6. So, so close.
1 for 78. That was a big blow, and we're only in the 7th over. This next ball is worked away on the onside, hit with a lot of power out towards backward square on the boundary, and they'll go through for just the 1 for 79. So you would have made a lot of mates in the fast bowling fraternity, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I was fortunate coming through an era when Australian cricket was so strong, of course. You had Glenn McGrath. There was, of course, Morney was in the side, but Jason Gillespie, Brett Lee came in as well.
There's a few good ones for a start. Next ball played down the ground in the deep, but no run. It just rolls along the ground and the score stays in 1 for 79.
Yeah, so I spent most of my career... Oh, getting extra run through here. Yeah, so I spent most of my career, or the whole 10 years of it, if you like, living on the sideline, on the bench. Just in, just out, then you'd come in for an injury, come out. I was actually, over that 10-year period, dropped 13 times, or 13 times I came back into the side.
Keep going. This is interesting, this bit. Very much so.
So a lot like your own kids and your children, of course, as parents and as veterans, we all know with the kids, if you're there all the time, you don't notice change. But if you are there for a while, then you disappear for a week and wherever it takes you, but you come back, you notice new words, new behaviours. And so for me, I had the most extraordinary perspective of the Australian cricket team during the most successful period of time.
Was it a good perspective of it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But even just little things, I'll share with you that the one time, I reckon, in that 10-year period was in 2005 when the word luck was used in the Australian cricket team. Against Ashes, 20 years this year since that Ashes over there when we lost it. But the word luck was used. And when you think about it, the only team that talks about luck is actually the loser, because they talk about being unlucky.
Yep.
And that was the first time the Australian cricket team, from my perspective, were fairly unlucky. And maybe we can chat about Billy Bowden and dismissals off the right-hand glove that was off the bat at the time in Edgbaston, but we might come back to that.
Well, there you are. It's interesting that we've got the score at 1 for 82. Michael Kaspovich joining Peter Walsh, and the bowler is Walsh, and we're not related.
No relation?
No. So you would have been around the Australian cricket grounds because you're in the squad, but you're just not in the team all the time.
I poured plenty of drinks too, I suppose, as 12th man, helping out every along the way. But what did we play? 38 tests?
That's a lot of test matches, all right. This ball hit in the air, down the ground, and we got a good look at it in the finish. It bounced well shy of the fieldsman down there and David Vincent, and they've got through for one, so it's 1 for 84 in the, let's have a look, 7.3 overs.
Good chip shot, actually. It's probably an easy two-putt from there.
It's beautiful conditions. The venue here is really quite spectacular. This ball on leg stump takes the pad. They'll run through for what I think is a leg by. We'll wait and see. Come on, Billy, give it to us. Billy's not quite sure. Now he's got room.
I love that. That's a great dance move, that.
Yeah.
What's that going on with the hammy? No?
I was going to say that Harry Hamstring might be waiting for a little tweak there.
You reckon he stretches before a day's play?
Oh, I don't know. But
ice bath at the end of it?
He's a character, all right. There's no doubt about it. And for him to be here, and I know a lot of work was done to secure him, as this next ball is hit hard and high down the ground and over the top for a maximum. A lusty blow. Vincent picking it up quite well, and that's his half century.
That's really well batting here. 52 off just 19 deliveries. He's been electric the way he's come out, and certainly his opening partner was also. But this certainly is a great total they're posting at the moment.
Now, we have quizzes. You probably weren't told of this.
No, I've been told not much at all, to be honest.
No. Well, the sharing moment will continue. Rest assured the quizzes have easy answers. This next ball is a full toss on leg stump. Attempt to drag it away. Be disappointed about that because it was about the right height for a right-handed batsman to smack that one a fair distance down the path, but he missed.
It was a slow ball, I think, rather a knuckle ball or something like that, because it sort of like dropped on him at the last minute. But still, not the ideal delivery, but a great result for the bowling team.
1 for 91. Last ball of the over is on leg stump. Again, the attempt to pull away on the onside. No contact. 1 for 91. Now, if I said to you, Starry, Starry Night, okay, song title. Starry, Starry Night, and there is a name on the board which should help you. Who was the singer? I knew that it would be a tough one for you. Farooj of 15, and the other batsman is 52, and his name is...
It wasn't Wasp, was it? I saw that up there on the board just before.
No. But who's the other batter? Who's 52?
Vincent.
Starry, Starry Night? Vincent?
Okay.
No?
No,
I'm just looking at our friends from TV who are sitting opposite me, and
Vincent.
I'm getting nothing. Starry, starry days. No, forget it. Just move on.
Was it a singer?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, no.
I'm sick of that quiz now. We'll move on to something
Okay.
different.
No, give us the answer. The people
Well,
are hanging.
that's the
Don't leave
answer.
them hanging.
Vincent is
Vincent's
the answer.
the answer. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So someone will Google that in the back of the box, I'm sure.
Is it male or female?
Who?
Vincent. Not
Male.
the batsman, but
Yeah. This is confusion now.
you have done.
It's 1 for 92, and this ball hit down the ground, hit well. Wasn't too far away from the follow-through for the bowler, but that sizzled off the blade and flew away to the boundary. Vincent moves to 56, and the score is 1 for 96. Remembering, these are 20-over games. Now, we've got some information. What have you got for us? You can tell us. Don McLean.
Don
Vincent.
McLean. Song Vincent. Okay.
Yeah, Starry, Starry Night.
Well done.
Okay.
Well done. Thanks for
Yeah.
Google?
Thanks for
Can we mention that they're a sponsor? Google?
Of course, we all go
Okay.
for it. Yeah, absolutely. That information being shared too. The guys in television who are sitting opposite us, and there's a couple who are in the scaffolding, one at the right end of the screen and the other at the left hand. They're giving us all that we need to know, and we're passing it on to, which is what we try to do. The next ball driven down the ground on the front foot. No run. Ferrugia 16, Vincent 56. And it's 1 for 96. 20 overs is what you get. And what's the Wasp telling us?
199. I said earlier on about 200. Now, WASP, what do we reckon that is? What is it? What's the acronym?
Well, it's scoring something.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say weighted average scoring.
Yeah, I'd give up while you're behind if I was you.
No?
We'll find out. We will. There's the next ball. Slower ball on leg stump, and the attempt to work it away down behind square. It runs along the ground and there's no run.
I like what Homan's doing here. He's just got that little in-swinger happening in the length. He's just trying to bowl it right up there in the block hole. Went for the boundary of the second ball. It was just a little bit too much width outside off stump, but otherwise I'm impressed with the skills.
Whittle in, bowls wide of the off stump, and that's a wide.
Geez, that was the kiss of death, wasn't it? Me
Yeah, you
commenting
did.
about how good skills and sort of one that didn't swing in as much.
Do you like this form of the game?
I loved it.
You do?
I really did. Not only when as I got older, because there's only 24 balls in a game. As long as you keep your foot behind the line and bowl straight, it's only 24.
And this ball again on leg stump, he attempted to whip it away behind square, but it's the pad. And do you find then, I'm always fascinated when talking to bowlers, how much of the over do you anticipate you're going to be delivering when you start? I mean, you're not sure, but have you got it in your mind to say, right, I know this bloke likes it short and wide, or I know this bloke likes it on leg stump? You've got to go through all those possibilities, because you get through the overs very quickly, as I'll get through this one that's hit in the air. He's going to be caught and bowled. Oh, no, he's not. He's not. Excuse me. Whittle was there. And if there was a hole here, he'd jump in it and cover himself over. That was hit straight up in the air on the offside. And the frustration is experienced because it's 1 for 97 at the end of 9 overs. Peter Walsh and Michael Kasperovich here. And look, I don't play the cricket at any level whatsoever, but let's talk us through that one. What did you think?
Oh, look, like I said before, there's no such thing as an easy catch, but put it on the page there. Oh, look, it's not easy. Just not sure with his hands, really. Get them, do you cup them, do you pull them underneath, over the top, and it just in and out. It's that simple, but also that disappointing as well. As
He
you
knows
mentioned.
it too.
Oh, of course he does.
And when you're talking spirit of cricket, I'm sure that at the end of the over, well, they're starting new over now, but I'm sure that his fellow teammates would get across to him and offer him a pat on the back as if to say, righto, well, look, let's see if we can move on and pick it up soon, because there's no good berating him. He would feel lower than a footprint out there, wouldn't he?
The other thing too is you're hoping someone come and give you a hug even after that one.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but still.
Well, I know, spirit of cricket. Let's take it to the limit.
Yeah, that's true. 1 for 98. This ball is a slower one and pushed down the ground on the onside up to, wide-ish mid-on. It's going to be fielded in there by Jeffrey Booth. There's no run.
coming back to your comment around, do I enjoy 2020 cricket? And I think loving the longer form of the game, the skills are at the best, obviously, at test level, longer form.
Yep.
But you find that 50 over cricket, the skills are brought a bit closer. Everyone's a little bit closer to it. Skill always wins out in the longer form. And 2020, at times, it can be almost like a lottery between teams. You can have your day, things can come off in the shorter version, but I'll tell you what it's done. It's introduced the game to a whole new audience.
It has. We were talking, Michael, as this ball is on leg stump, the attempt to turn it around on the onside fails to eventuate, and there's no run. We're talking about whether or not, and you love the frenetic action, do you think perhaps that the next form of cricket might be 10 overs?
Well, I guess everyone's getting time poor these days.
Yeah.
Everyone complains about, there's not enough time and I'm busy. I hope not, but who knows?
Never too sure. This ball is straightening the batsman up as he works it away. Got a little bit confused initially, but it's been knocked away. And we've got drink breaks coming up too, so we'll just give you the score at the end of this over. 1 ball to go. And halfway through with 10 overs, it's 1 for 99. With Ferrugia on 17 and Vincent on 57. As this ball to be bowled by Ray down the ground on the onside. Played straight to the ball out there in Cesnik. And that looks like it is the completion of the over. His drinks will come onto the ground. 1 for 99, Ferrugia on 17 and Vincent is 41. We'll be back shortly with more on what's happening here in Mildura.
What's going on?
That's you.
What do you expect me to do about it?
It's time.
It's time to see my mates at CPAP Direct. They help me get my sleep apnea sorted and they offer good old-fashioned customer service and support. CPAP Direct not only have the latest technology in sleep testing, CPAP machines and masks, they can help you too.
You can leave the mask on.
What?
G'day and welcome to Mildura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever, perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mildura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
And we are back live at the Mildura Sporting Precinct, day one of the T20 format as part of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale. Phoenix Firebirds winning the toss and batting first this morning, 1 for 99 after 10 overs. We're into the second power play as it stands at the moment. Vincent is 57 from 27. And Ferrugia is starting to tick it over nicely too, 17 from 21. As Homan bowls a foolish ball, which is not that well timed by the Firebirds. They'll get the ball out into the onside, get through for the single. Pat Silcox and Darren Cheek for the first time this morning. Cheeky, great to have you on board, mate.
Yeah, good morning, Pat. Thanks for that. Yes, it's like it's been said, it's an absolute glorious day, isn't it? The organisers, whether you're organising a test match or a kids game on the weekend, you're always hoping that it was all worth it for the weather and doesn't mess it, and they've got a beauty.
There's, again, some prodigious swing from Homan. We've seen that a bit just standing back and watching the monitors, haven't we, Cheeky, that the balls are going a long way both ways.
He's bringing them in a lot, and he's just putting that one away just every now and then, just sneaking them in. But unfortunately, a couple of them have been a bit too wide, but he's certainly bowling it up, and that's what you need to do in this Masters cricket. Get it right under their bat.
And this time it's worked away into the onside by Vincent. And they've allowed themselves a few extra men outside of the circle now so they can protect the boundaries. But, gee, he's a goer, isn't he? Dave Vincent, 59 as he moves to 5 maximums and 5 boundaries. He's going to be a player to watch throughout the tournament, I reckon. Yes,
I was told that he was a good hard hitter and a really aggressive opener, and he certainly showed that the whole time.
It's another foolish ball from Homan, but this time Ferrugia can't find the gap into the offside. Now, Cheeky, you bring a bit of a South Australian perspective and spin to the broadcast, of course, applying your veterans trade with Grange over in SA.
Yeah, well, I think it's the three of us, isn't it? I heard you started off your life down there as well, just like Walshy.
As we see another foolish ball hit down the ground, and not quite carrying to the man there at extra cover on the ring. Yeah. I'm on the cusp, actually, Cheeky, because I've almost lived in Mildura long enough now that I could almost claim to be a Victorian, but I'm always going to be a crow eater at heart, always.
We've got Vinny coming on, bowling his last ball of the over now.
Taken across the line. Goes out into the onside, but as we mentioned now, in this second power play, the Allstars can get a few men out on the marker cones on the boundary, so just the 1 run scored. So 11 overs done, score 1 for 103. Got 9 overs to go, and our score predictor, Darren, has the Firebirds on track for around about 190, which you reckon is a pretty decent tally.
Well, especially if these two can stay in. I know Ferrugia, known as Fudge.
Yep.
He, with this competition, the franchises had a big draft early on to pick their things, and Fudge here, he was the number 1 pick.
Was he?
In the draft, so there's a little bit of news for you. But he's, very good batters he's showing. He hasn't, I don't know if he's really got his eye in yet, but you'll see a lot more of him because he's a very good bowler as well.
Okay.
Wild little thing. So
look forward to that, yeah.
Yep.
So Jason Lavender is going to take up the attack. He was pretty decent in that over 50s final a couple of days back here at the MSP. Made some runs and bowled some important overs at the back end for Australia A. So he'll know these conditions pretty well as he looks to just marshal his troops into the right spots. Thinking he's going to be wanting to bowl just a fraction outside off stump. Starts off beautifully there. And
right on the spot to start.
Firebirds just looking to try and drag it across to the onside to pick up a single, but wily campaigner Jason was in town last year as part of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale. As that one's foolish, it's lofted out into the deep. There's a man underneath it, swirling in the breeze. Just dropped late, didn't it? It didn't. He had the hands up, then he dropped the hands down, and it just got away from him in the end.
He just needed a couple more steps to get under it instead of reaching out, and unfortunately, it's gone down. It's a couple opportunities today that they've missed.
Just a couple of chances, as we'll get a chance to have a look back on the Enjoy Wine Char Grill and Bar action replay. Foolish ball from Lavender. Just a little bit of leading edge on that one as it got into the air, but just dipped late, didn't it?
Yep. I don't think he ever really got an idea of where it was going to go. He looked like he was stumbling around there. Like, do I go forward? Do I go back? Didn't quite pick it up. And Ferrugia as well, he kind of just reached a bit for that one and didn't move his feet enough to get to that ball.
So they picked up a single while we were off at the replay, so the big man Vincent is back on strike. He's advancing and getting a bit of an inside edge.
He's put them all in the spot, hasn't he?
Started well.
Yep.
He's got the benefit of probably getting those couple of games in prior with the 45 over format, so he's got acclimatised a little bit quicker than some of the other boys. This one's quicker and into the wicket, and it's hit out on the offside. Nice bit of work in the field there by Jason Hay. Keeps it to a single. Score is 1 for 109 in this, the 12th over. For RJR 20, Vincent is 63 from 32. He's still got time to bring up the three figures too, hasn't he, Cheeky?
Oh, absolutely. That'll be a highlight.
Goes downtown, picks up a single there to long off. And that's the end of 12 overs. Score is 1 for 108.
109.
109, yeah.
Yeah, so, and a good run rate, 9. And with only 9 wickets in the shed, and the sides, like a lot of these sides, they're all-rounders. Talking to the managers and captains, they all, feel that they're a good, strong striking batting side. So it will be really good to see this last 8 overs.
So partnership is 73 from 54 in just 37 minutes. They haven't mucked about. As we wait for Homan once again, he will get through the end of his 4-over stint here. Bowling to Vincent. 1 for 109.
This Vincent, he's a... no, not the Vincent.
Homan.
Yeah, he's the Kiwi international that's playing here today.
Yeah, I reckon he was in town last year. It was part of that 45 over games and then rolled through into the T20s. It was interesting. A couple of days back, we were having a chat to Leith Dawes and also Craig Trindle from Australia and Australia A, and they were suggesting that this time around, they're electing to skip the T20 part of it because it just gets a little bit hard on the body. They're focusing on nationals, of course, coming up in November.
Yep.
Full-length ball. Vincent down on one knee, and he's going to hold out there, I reckon, on the ring. Didn't quite get it where he needed it to go. And the All-Stars make a very important breakthrough. The dismissal of Vincent now. He's on his way for 64 from 35 deliveries. We'll get a chance to have another look at this one again on the Enjoy Wine Char Grill and Bar Action replay. It was a foolish ball, and just got down, lost his balance a bit, didn't he? He tried to get down on a knee there to try and hit it onto the onside as we get a better squeeze here front on. I think he had every intention that he was going to the onside, wasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like he was trying to play across it a bit to get it over mid-on, but reached a bit too far. And he would be very disappointed with that. Juicy little full tosser to dispatch over the fence like he'd done many a time in this innings.
Did all the hard work, didn't he? And then unfortunately come unstuck. We felt that he was on track for a century as well, but certainly he'll have more chances, won't he, in the next couple of days to go again.
I think you put the mockers on. There,
Commentator's curse, cheeky. I've done it many times, don't worry, and probably many more.
Yeah.
It's a good reward for Homan, who's got into a bit of rhythm now. 1 for 21 in his 4th over. New man to the crease for the Firebirds. Looks like Ben Hardy, I reckon.
Hardy, yes.
He looks to be a decent size as well, doesn't he? Big unit.
Yes, they are big units.
2 for 109. 7.4 overs to go. Bit of angle back into the right-hander who just poshes it back out onto the cut square there. Won't pick up a single.
Danced his feet around a little bit too. It's good to see, and just nervously, I suppose, first ball, punched it away.
We wait on Homan once again. Hardy looking to open his account here. Got a higher grip on the bat. Open stance as he deposits it down the ground. And Rasmussen does the work down there. Just fielding on the ring at mid-off. Now, Cheeky, I wouldn't necessarily take as gospel what I've got as names and numbers here because I had a look on the screen prior to the start of the game and it seemed to be all over the shop compared to what Telford gave me yesterday. So she's a bit of a mixed bag of lollies, I think.
Yeah, we worked that out.
So that one comes back into the right-handed Hardy. Just tighten him up nicely. So Homan really has got it going at the moment. Might get through a wicket maiden here, which is pretty much a rarity in this format of the game.
Yes, after them sitting on over the 10 for a lot of times, run rate, and dropped it down to 9 and get a maiden out. Wow.
Important stage of the game, trying to restrict the run scoring here of the Firebirds, who really got going early. Homan outside the off stump, Hardy upright and striking powerfully, but gee, that's a good bit of work.
Really well fielded there.
On the ring again, so at the end of 13 overs, score is 2 for 109.
Begins with passion. It begins with Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket, trusted by players worldwide. From head to toe, complete cricket solutions. Official uniform supplier for GT20 and CCMC. For every walk to the crease, for every bold start, for every fearless shot, Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket.
We're in Mildura, having fun. And so too are the cricketers. This is a lot more frenetic than our 45 overs. That competition finishing, and we'll just refresh your memories as we go through this stint of who picked up the goodies, who got the medals, and who, of course, as we speak, are heading back to their homes. 2 for 109. RJR Allstars and the Phoenix Firebirds. They're the two sides that are in combat. Peter Walsh and Darren Cheek back at the microphone, and runs continuing to flow, and you keep forgetting, you keep saying to yourself, hang on, they're scoring quickly. Well, only got 20 overs, and we're into 6 and a little bit more overs to go. But it's been pretty good productive stuff out there, Darren. They're scoring well and getting their runs together. And of course, that's been aided by a couple of errant efforts in the field to take some catches.
Yes, and as we just missed there, the first ball of the over, Farugia just stepped out to one outside off and just smacked it over the cow corner fence for a 6. And a dot after that. They needed that after the maiden over last
True
time.
enough. Now there's a big blow down the ground that's going to fall in the onside, and it should be taken by Branson, isn't out there? And there is a catch taken, and it is taken by Krosnick. Number 1. That's Tony. Oh, hang on a minute. We've got to go. Yes. And that's a wicket that was absolutely necessary, has been taken. And so that's the 3rd wicket to fall. We'll just have a quick look at what goes happen. That's the Enjoy Wine Char Grill and Bar action replay. This ball tossed up and looked like he'd got onto it, but then hit it straight up in the air, really. It just hung in the air, and the man in the blue was able to take the catch. That's the captain of the RJR All-Stars, Glenn Kosnick. And that pretty important wicket, because a couple of wickets down, a couple of catches dropped, but that one now means it's 3 for 115 in the 13th over.
Yeah, that was a very much needed wicket. Farugia, he's a damaging batsman, and to get him, that's good. I think he reached out a bit too far on the offside there instead of perhaps driving it through covers. Went for that big 6 again, but that's the kind of format this game is, isn't it?
Yeah, you don't get out there and don't do anything. You don't go out and look at the vineyards. You go out there and look at the ball and give it a whack if you can. And the run rate, it's really quite amazing, the frenetic action. Run rate's almost 9. 3 for 115. Whittle and Hardy, both duck eggs next to their name, so there was a slight
bit harsh when they got the duck head in balls as well.
Well, it's easy for the score when we look at it. It's all the same ones, but this is an important part of the end of this innings. 3 for 115, but 2 new batters at the crease. Whittle to that one. Leaves it alone just out the off stump, and it's through to the keeper. Beautiful day for it, isn't it?
Oh, it's just glorious. As I was saying earlier, for all the organisers that put in so much work, the groundsmen and so forth, to get a day like this is just what they're hoping for.
Yeah, absolutely. This ball is on leg stump. He leans forward to a ball that might have been slightly overpitched and just dabs it away behind square for a single. Whittle and Hardy are the 2 batsmen out there. The run rate is up to 8.5. Whittle and Hardy both not scoring and waiting for the last ball of this over. 3 for 115. And he didn't time that at all. That's an ungainly looking shot that goes down the ground on the onside. That's the completion of the over call by Billy Bowden. Yes, Billy says 3 for 115. Whittle no score and Hardy no score. One's had 3 deliveries delivered to him, Whittle, and we see the score stays at 3 for 115.
Yes, I guess with only 6 overs left and 7 wickets to go, that there's no need to have any time to get your eye in. Just need to get the runs on quickly, and that's probably where Hardy probably needed to just hold back a little bit there and be ready for the next over.
There's more slapping than tickling. In this situation, they've got to go hard, try and hit solidly, and see what they can do with that score sitting at 115. Hardy and Whittle, we're just waiting for them to be sorted out. Partnership, we're trying to work out what's happening. It's 3 for 115, that's the most important thing. Whittle and Hardy. Now this ball, first ball of a new over from Hay, punch down the ground on the onside. They go through for an easy 1 run with Lavender getting in and doing the fielding. And the score up by 1 to 116. First wicket falling with the score at 36. 2 for 109 and 3 for 115. And this is a very important part of the end to their 20 overs. This ball held back and hit hard. That's a long way.
Yes.
That's going to go way, way, way over the top of those cones that are there to signify the 4. We might on the replay see it bounce. We see now that it's down near the Lenco Transport. They're one of those sponsors. Good on them for doing the right thing. But he made good contact and he swatted that one away, and it just kept on going. Big 6.
Talking about the sponsors, we've got the 6th sign down the end there, down at long on or straight. If any player hits that on the full, they win $25,000 thanks to the sponsor.
I've got a theory on that too. I think if whoever's calling and they hit a 6 and we mention it, I'm reckoning we might be able to get together afterwards and do a deal. The next ball, it's a signal 3 for 123, Whittle 7 and Hardy on 1.
Talking them, they've been great sponsors of Masters cricket over the last couple of years. Anyone just has to mention they're a veteran that they get a lot of discount. And there's another beautiful straight shot down the ground.
You got a bit close to that
May have
6
bounced
there,
just in front. Yeah. Yes, that was close. There's the sign we're talking about.
Hit me.
Hit me for 4. What's that? Hit me for 6.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah.
Okay. Bit slow there.
That's good that they've got them. And I love the uniforms too. I think the uniforms look quite spectacular. Nice and colourful, and it gives the chance for us to mention the sponsors, RJR Allstars, and of course they're involved with Phoenix Firebirds, and it's 3 for 129, 2 to go in the over. Only 5.2 overs remaining to complete this 20 overs. This ball is on leg stump and it's worked away on the onside. No power on the stroke, just forwarded the square leg umpire, and they get through for 1. Now, tell me, Cheeky, what about you as your officiating effort as the third umpire? Now, that's multi-skilling. How did you get roped into being the third umpire is there one umpire down today?
Yes, there's one umpire down. He was a bit worn out from last week's cricket, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because he tries to bowl the little slow ball, little backhander, and has tricked Whittle there and just got an inside edge. Keeper took it away. Yes, they won down. I'm not positive of how it was, but I think it was probably a bit of last week and needed and they're down to 8 umpires because, of course, we've got 4 games going at a time.
I know.
So, yes.
Yeah, there's plenty of cricket still going. This one, Verbal's on for a period of time. I'll just grab my book and have a look here at the score. 15 overs down, 3 for 130.
So with 5 overs to go, I suppose they would hope to get 10 and over from here and try and get around the 180 mark. I would have thought it might be a 200 ground today because it's very fast.
It is fast. I had a wander out there earlier on, and the surface magnificent. 3 for 130, Whittle 7 and Hardy 8. The RJR All-Stars against the Phoenix Firebirds.
Wound in his arms, showing a bit of more than needed.
Yes, he doesn't mess around. He's in the game all the time, which is what we want to see. This ball, the first of a new over, it's hit hard down the ground on the onside. Well timed.
That's over the fence.
The signal down there was quite spectacular from Glenn Klosnek, who's the captain of the RJR All-Stars, but that was a good shot and went all the way. Now, last night or the night before, Fazal Alam was named as the batter of the tournament, making 295 runs, 2 centuries. He's the captain of the US of A team. This ball hit back down the ground at Corton Bowl. Chance missed. I think that was on the full on the way. Hit it hard. And the bowler following through Lavender. Got a hand to it, but it was whizzing.
Yeah, it was whizzing. Could only get there for the one hand.
Let's have a look and see if we
can. It was
a
little bit slower, and he got there with two. It might have helped, but it was whizzing past him.
Actually gave it
Whoa.
Just
and
the
Billy,
right hand.
Billy took the duck too. He was going right between his eyes. He'll be thankful. I think he owes him a beer for that.
Well, that was a hard hit, all right. He laid into it. 3 for 138, Hardy 15, Whittle 9. James Morris was the bowler of the tournament, the Australian who took 11 wickets.
11 wickets. It's
did
a fair effort.
Yep. And I'll just go through some of the other bits and pieces.
As Lavender comes in for his fourth ball and... Whoa! What happened there?
Well, the fieldsman fell over and then the ball bounced between his legs, which in effect was okay. I should say. I'm not laughing because I thought it was funny. I thought he was lucky he wasn't hit by the ball and hit anywhere, because when he tumbled, he was in a bit of strife. Let's have a look and see.
There's little Razzie out there, and the little red-headed. He's a curator out at Maryborough, I think, up in Queensland, and he's known to be a great fielder. So he'll be very disappointed with that effort.
Well, he looked as if he was going to stop the ball from getting into the boundary, but in the finish just tumbled backwards.
Yep. He's got his sprig stuck in the dirt. And over he went.
Get his ageing body back into action. Good on him. We just sort ourselves out, and I'll go through the team of the tournament at the end of this over. I'll go through it quickly. We don't miss any balls. That ball outside the off stump. They tap and run. They'd better hurry.
It's a good single.
Yeah, good running too. Well picked up out there.
And that's the over.
That was Brendan Walsh who did the picking up. That's completion of the over here. It's 3 for 144.
Introducing the 1-hour Spirit of Cricket presentation, an educational, engaging and entertaining short course that instills the true spirit of cricket. We believe in sportsmanship, fair play, respect, integrity and gratitude. These are the keys to playing cricket in its purest form. Ready to reinforce these values at your club or school? Contact the Spirit of Cricket to book a workshop today. Let's keep the spirit of cricket alive.
Last wicket falls. It's about sportsmanship.
And we're back in action here in Mildura. We've got 3 for 144, the match between the Phoenix Firebirds, who are running into RJR Allstars. It's been a good game so far. Whittle is 10 and Hardy is 20. Score 3 for 145. And we are starting the 16th over. So the run rate continues to mount, as do the scores. That's a boundary hit just forward of square on the onside. Hit with positivity from Hardy. He's 24. It's 3 for 149. Welcome back, Patrick.
Thanks, Peter. I was just talking to Casper, and we're watching from side on. Gee, Ben Hardy's a long way up. He's a big unit, and he's got those long levers, a little bit similar to what we saw from David Vincent earlier in the session. Anything that's pitched up, he's got the high grip up top of the handle there. He's going to swing through the line. He's moved his score to 24.
Well, he hits the next ball down the ground, and it's on the bounce.
Yep.
Into the deep. When we pick it up there, we're looking for that white dot to see on the screen. We need to see that. And that one bounces straight to the fieldsman, but they're 3 for 1 with Queensland Firebirds in the 16.3 overs down now. 70 minutes though. They haven't been batting for long. 3 for 150.
Yeah. Going along at a very nice clip. As we see, batsman just stepping back, giving himself some room. And that will clear the man at long on and go over the rope for a maximum. So they keep getting to the fence, either on the ground or via an aerial route. And the score just continues to build here. 3 for 156 in this, the 17th over. Run rate is just a touch under 10, but the score predictor has got them up around 190, which is going to be tough to beat, you'd reckon.
10 in boundaries on this over so far at a 4 and a 6. Now, thanks for that, because the score predictor, when Michael Kasparovich was in here earlier on wondering what a WASP was, and it was a good fair question too. Well, we found out the last two letters, S&P are score predictor.
Yeah, so we just need to...
Yeah.
There we go.
And Mike's response was good. He said, who gives a rat's toss back?
As the ball's angled down the leg side, Hardy trying to get underneath it again with the long gate. Couldn't quite pick it up. And that's the end of the 17th over. So score 3 for 157. Phoenix Firebirds winning the toss, batting first in our opener for the T20 competition as part of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale. Wickets to fall so far today. Branston, LBW to Stone for 16. Ferrugia caught Sosnek, bowled Lavender for 26, and Vincent caught Sosnek, bowled Homan for 64. Vincent 64 from 35 deliveries in just 54 minutes, picking up 6 fours and 5 sixes. So he was the man that really got things rolling.
Absolutely. Now, the team of the tournament was announced the other night too, and I'll quickly go through it. Mark Kratzman, Phil Puller, Brian May, Fazil Alam, Adil Samani, AJ with the hat-trick, Graham Crawford, Bertie Bryan, Mark Wade, James Morris and Barry Cross.
So that's from the 45-over
correct
tournament that we played through. As another wicket taken by the Allstars. Ball comes down to Chris Stone, who gleefully accepts the opportunity. And the breakthrough comes there. Jason Lavender, who's had a decent spell with the ball, and now gets another reward for his efforts. His second scalp of this first session as we check it again on the Enjoy Wine Char Grill and Bar action replay. Just took a bit of pace off it, and it was scooped down to the man on the circle there at mid-on. And so the breakthrough, and I reckon that was Trev Whittle, who's the man who will need to depart. And his score was on 17. So new man making his way out to the middle is Ian Chatton, and he'll look to continue this momentum from the Firebirds as they continue to try and push up in excess of 170, 180, maybe even 200 if they have a couple of real flurries in the last couple of overs, Walshy.
Yes, good strong hitting too, but it's interesting too when they've got those little discs that are in the open to give you an idea. Gives you a good idea too, because to get to the fence all the time, that is a massive hit. It's a big boundary out there, and so that helps us too as commentators when we pick it up, and our guys in the cherry pickers get a good look at where the ball is delivered. As it's 4 for 157, and they will add to... No, they won't. Although it's misfielded behind point, and they'll get a single now. Even think about the two maybe running back quickly and picking up the ball there was Correlage. It's 4 for 159. Lavender has 3.2 overs bowled, 2 for 28, and we are now with 2.24 balls remaining. 170, 175, you reckon?
Well, as we see a shout there by the bowler, Lavender. Ball just squirts out to the offside. They'll get through for a leg bye. The score predictor has them at around mid-180s. So, yeah, I guess if the All-Stars can continue to pick up the wickets here at the back end, that might just slow them down fractionally. But I get the feeling if Hardy's there right throughout here, they could really finish strongly. As he's taking it out again in through mid-wicket, finds the gap, and they'll pick up another single.
Glorious day too. Well, we've had excellent weather. The weather looks as if it'll be better right throughout until we finish what has been a wonderful period of time in the little hot dot spot in Victoria, in Mildura. And we see people who are wandering the streets in coloured shirts and coloured tea shops. And it's all good, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it's great to see. Community's really embraced the visiting parties from around the country to be here for this Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale. As Lavender again takes a bit of pace off, Hardy leans across and hits it right over the mid-wicket boundary for 6. In fact, almost come up close to our broadcast position there. Well, she wasn't too far away, but gee whiz, Ben Hardy is making a name for himself here in the at the back end of the innings. He is now 32, Chatton is 3. Score 4 for 168 in this, the 18th over, as part of the third power play. Maybe just quickly, Walsh, we've been a bit shy on the other games going on around town, so I'll quickly bring you up to speed there. Now, over at Goal, we've got Territory Blasters taking on the Saxon Kings. The Blasters winning the toss and finished with 5 for 118 at the start of the 18th over. At the Mildura Senior College, it's the Sandgropers and the Tara Taverners. Boys from the West won the toss, elected to bat, and have got themselves in a pretty decent spot at 5 for 143 after 17. And further game also being played at the John Hall Oval, Mildura West. EV2 Cricket a 4 for 106 after 17.
I was having breakfast this morning with one of the Kratzmans, followed by the other Kratzman, and they were talking about, we think we've got a fit team, but we've got a few wobblers because they're a bit sore after all the running around they've been doing, and of course they're playing for the EVEs. So spreading far wide, good top too. I like that, very bright.
It is. Yep, we'll get to see that no doubt in the coming days as we wait here on Chris Stone, moving into his third over now, 1 for 26. 19th over. Bowling that one into the track. It's taken down to the leg side. This is a very quick outfield, and that is going to get away for another 4. So not the ideal start there for Stone. Exactly what the Phoenix Firebirds had ordered. Score now 4 for 172 in this, the 19th over. So they're a chance for 200 here, Pete. I get the feeling if they can keep this partnership rolling.
Yes, 172, although I think, Patrick, when you had the haircut, I think they might have removed a little bit of the grey matter because
they're right.
I think it's too much of a stretch to get there, although you never know, do you?
Well, I'm backing in the big fella Hardy. If they bowl in his zones, he's going to clear the pickets. So, while he's there, they're every chance, I reckon, but remains to be seen, of course, as the All-Stars look to really push through these last couple and try and stem the flow here. 4 for 172. Score predicted now at 190. Casper's just chimed in the back play looking for 200. I'm with you. I reckon if Hardy gets a fair chunk of the strike here at the back end, they could certainly achieve that target. No question. There's a nice bit of work out there in the deep by Jason Lavender. As you mentioned, Walshy, beautiful day as we continue to warm things up on the weather front. Mid-20s, expected top. A little bit of high cloud, but pretty pleasant for all and sundry concerned.
Yeah, they're loving too. People sitting there and enjoying themselves. Why wouldn't they be? A couple of good cricket days ahead of us. And then, do you become a normal person again when this cricket is over?
Yeah, unfortunately so. Yeah, I think Wednesday I'm back to work. It's a bit to my real job, unfortunately. Yeah.
Don't forget to pick up the list left by your wife to do all the home duties.
Yes.
Does that include taking out the rubbish bins?
Yes, that's one of my jobs. Certainly is.
Get the kids to do it.
Or down the ground. Bit of a finger on it from Stone. But it will get through for another single. So 4 for 175. 7 legal balls of the innings remain. Score predictor is telling us 188. The Casper predictor is telling us 200. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think he's been affected by the sun and all the walking
and
that
all
he's
been
doing.
The steps that he's put together.
Yeah,
quite a remarkable effort. Hardy takes it out again into the onside, but looks like the All-Stars have really got their field rung up pretty nicely, haven't they? They're managing to restrict the boundary, so that is the end of 19. And the score 4 for 176. Chatton is 9, Hardy is 34, and Lavender, he won't bowl again from that Deakin Avenue end because he's now finished up his 4-over stint, 2 for 36. So it'll be interesting to see, intriguing somewhat to see who they'll bring back for this final over.
It's been a tough gig because, let's have a look, Branston got 16, Ferrugia got 26, Vincent got 64, and the last batsman out for 17, let's have a look and see if I can find him, there was Whittle. And so they all got starts, but no one going on to a massively big score. And you can see the Blueies, it's like a gathering of the police who've come down here to check to make sure everything's okay with their blue attire on.
Almost from a distance, you think it might have been the New South Wales Blues playing the Redbacks.
True.
A bit of a hint of that, hasn't it?
And compliments too to the police. They don't get too many words of wisdom or words of praise, but we can because we see them out and about. We travel a lot, and they're always very obliging, and there's a lot to see, and very tough job indeed. So to all of those who might be in some way aware as to what we're doing our best, and I can guarantee we know you're doing your best.
So tough gig here for Asitha Correlage, who bowled the second over, and he's now called upon to come back and finish the deal as he darts one in. Well bowled as Hardy can only just turn it away onto the onside. They'll pick up a single. Hardy was keen to get back for another one. But just the one. 4 for 177. 5 balls to go for our change of innings, which Telf informs me is around about 10 minutes. We'll keep an eye on the clock there. I believe we're heading off to the Mildura Senior College maybe for a spot of lunch after this game, Walsh. You look forward to that?
Oh, okay. Well, that ball's hit in the air down the ground on the bounce. 1, 2, 3 bounces and just through for 1. So
hang on. They're going to get through for the cheeky overthrow there.
Now that's disappointing when that happens late in the game, and I'd suggest that the Blue Boys wouldn't be too happy about that errant effort in the field and non-restriction.
Dusty throwback in, wasn't it, from the man who was on the ring there a bit off. So that gets Chatton back on strike. He's 11, Hardy 35. 4 for 179. Taking a bit of pace off this time. They'll just pick up the single. No doubt this will be a much... No, he's going to throw it into the carpet again to make Correlage have to bend down and work hard to pick it up. But he was up to the challenge this time.
I could hear him saying, "Oh, my aching
Get him
back."
up! Get him up, he says. Right, now, can we see a big one from Hardy here? Oh, it's... No, well bowled in the end. He did advance, but probably almost made it a bit of a yorker for himself in the end. So only able to pick up the single.
Aren't they very cautious and conscious about bouncing the ball back too?
They are, yep. Take a bit of extra sheen off the ball.
Yep.
Maybe a bit of reverse swing here at the back end of this first session. Well, that's well bowled, almost getting through Chatton that time. He's able to deflect it down towards the man coming in off the backward square boundary. So just doing the picket fences here pretty much, the Firebirds to finish up, which is probably a little bit disappointing for the onlookers who are expecting they may well have just gone into a bit of a flurry here at the back end. But Hardy's got one last chance here off the last ball to see if he can clear the rope and get the score up to 188.
It's a big build-up, Patrick. You're hoping he does. You know that.
I know. Quicker delivery, gets a bit of top edge to it. It's going to be skied, and the commentator's curse strikes again, Peter Walsh. A wicket goes to the RJR Allstars, safely deposited into the hands there of Jason Lavender, and that is all she wrote. 4 for 182 at the end of 20 overs as we get another look at that one on the Enjoy Wine Char Grill and Bar replay. Yeah, just Pat just pivoted a little bit in his hands, which means he got probably more leading edge to that. And Lavender was the right man at the right time in the right spot as we see the two Firebirds making their way off the ground. And that score will finish at 4 for 182. Hardy on his way for 36. And Chatton remained not out 13. So just quickly look at the card before we take a spell. Leading the way at the top of the dig, of course, it was David Vincent, 64 from 35, 6 fours and 5 maximums. Hardy, of course, with his 36 was important. Ferrugia also looked busy through the mid part of the innings with 26. Best of the bowlers, Jason Lavender, 4 overs, no maidens, 2 for 36. Other wicket takers, Ben Homan and Chris Stone. So 183 required for victory in the second session by the RJR All-Stars. We'll take a break and return shortly here at the Mildura Sporting Precinct.
Every moment captured in real time. Wickets, boundaries, bowling, batting, all brought to life. Vision AI turns data into visuals for analysis, streaming and content. NV Play. Vision AI. The future of cricket is here.
Are you a batsman who's still training hard, still getting starts, but the big scores just won't come? It's not your technique, it's your process. Email the word SPIRIT to info@simplebatting.com and we'll show you the 3 simple steps serious batsmen are using to become the run scorer their team relies on, season after season.
Alliance Biograin grows organic grains for strength, vitality and joy. Every grain carries the strength of the land, bringing real nourishment to every table. Because health isn't just about eating well, it's about living fully. Organic nutrition meets senior cricket. Alliance Biograin and CCMC, nourishing seniors, one meal, one match, one moment of joy.
That's you.
What do you expect me to do about it?
It's time.
It's time to see my mates at CPAP Direct. They help me get my sleep apnea sorted and they offer good old-fashioned customer service and support. CPAP Direct not only have the latest technology in sleep testing, CPAP machines and masks, they can help you too.
You can leave the mask on.
What?
Say I'll never waste my time. I'm all you want. Oh, yeah, we live it up. I know for sure that I'll always.
G'day and welcome to Mildura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs.
CMC, nourishing seniors, one meal, one match, one moment of joy.
What's going on?
That's you.
What do you expect me to do about it?
It's time.
It's time to see my mates at CPAP Direct. They help me get my sleep apnea sorted and they offer good old-fashioned customer service and support. CPAP Direct not only have the latest technology in sleep testing, CPAP machines and masks, they can help you too.
You can leave the mask on.
What?
Say I'll never waste my time. I'm all you want. Oh, yeah, we live it up. I know for sure that I'll always.
G'day and welcome to Mildura, the capital of tropical North Victoria, where adventure awaits you around every bend. But unlike Queensland, you don't have to worry about crocs. Epically wide river that goes forever. Perfect for water sports. Your next adventure is in Mildura and it's just a short flight away. We'll see you there.
Begins with passion. It begins with Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket, trusted by players worldwide. From head to toe, complete cricket solutions, official uniform supplier for GT20 and CCMC. For every walk to the crease, for every bold start, for every fearless shot, Yashi Sports. Canada's home of cricket.
Hello, where have you been? We haven't been too far away from where we are, sitting here in Mildura. Peter Walsh and Pat Silcox starting off our coverage of the run chase, and I can tell you, you can't blink. You can't even head to where it's got M or F, and that's male or female, because things happen in a T20. I'll give you the tip. Scores are being made right around all of the venues that we're covering the cricket from. And Patrick, as I welcome you back to our commentary spot, you can't miss a ball or that because scores are being made quickly. The one thing we haven't got, and we think we might have to go with a horse as a horse to find out, how many sixes do you reckon have been hit so far? You'd know that.
Today?
Yeah.
I can get that for you if you want it.
I knew you'd be able to get that. I knew you'd be able to go straight to your
12.
computer.
There you go.
12 sixes.
12 sixes, yeah.
Yeah. In the score of 5 for 182, about to start the run chase. Is that good enough?
We're going to find out, aren't we, in the next hour and a half. I think it's a good score. They'll need to bowl well, though, because what we've seen so far is that we have a good wicket at our disposal and we've got a very quick outfield. So they want to get early breakthroughs here, I reckon. As Firebirds are going to start with, it looks like Mark Smee is going to be our man.
Smee again?
Yeah, Smee again. Opening pair for the Allstars. We've got Darren Wilton and is it Glenn Sosnek?
That's it, yep. You've got it in one, my friend. Well done. First ball, wide of the off stump and hit hard down the ground to mid-off. It's slight misfield. Are they going to go for a run on the misfield? I don't think so. No, Boothie running around.
Yes, they did.
I did go for the run.
They snuck through.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, look, there's a number of dot balls and that we want to be able to keep going, and that's an early run.
Full outside the off stump and taking full toll is Sosnek there as he lashes that one through the covers. Billy Bowden moves into his gear. And first boundary of this second session. And the All-Stars none for 5. Now the rate required is currently at 9.18 or 9.05 as a reset. But they'll look to cash in with the fielding restrictions here to try and find the gaps. We did see that a little bit in the first innings where there was quite a few over-pitch deliveries that certainly went all the way to the boundary. That one stayed down a bit, didn't it? As
it dived a bit.
Wilton trying to get over the top of it.
And for those who might have just joined our coverage, welcome to where you are. I'm not sure what part of the world you're watching, but very sad news overnight. 92-year-old Harold Dennis Dicky Bird, the English cricketer and international cricketer, much loved for his excellence as an umpire as this ball hit down the ground to mid-off and there's no run. Many eccentricities. A date of birth 19th of April 1933. A right-handed batsman and an off-break bowler for Yorkshire and for Leicestershire. 66 test matches he officiated in. Made a lot of friends all over the place as this next ball is hit in the deep on the onside. Does the bouncing and it wobbles its way out towards the fence. And they will go through for a couple. 6 without doing anything else other than hitting the ball hard. No wicket for 6. Now Cheeky's gone in and said, yep, we've got 12 sixes and 12 fours were hit. Yeah. So that's good stuff, isn't it?
It's good going. It certainly is. As we see Smee continue. As it's allowed to pass through to the keeper. And that's the end of the first over. No wicket for 6.
Just one story I wanted to relate on Dicky Bird, and that was in Pakistan. In the years that I was there, spending time with the Australian team when they played Pakistan, and also South Africa came over for the triangular one-day series, and I sat with Dicky Bird in one of the Pool Continental Hotel, and he had baked beans, followed by some more baked beans.
Right.
Followed by some more baked beans, and I said, what sort of food do you like? He said, are you taking any notice as to what I'm eating?
Probably one to avoid later on in the evening.
I would think
that sort of intake.
yes. You knew where he was going. You
Yes.
could follow him.
Left a trail behind him. Is that what you're saying,
Sort
Walshy?
of. But I wanted to be serious about saying one thing, and that was I recorded an interview with him, which never went to air because we didn't have time. There was too much cricket going on. It went for 40 minutes, and I've got it. So I'm going to mess around and I'll see Telf about it and put it on.
I like it.
He was just such a gentleman. Of course, best remembered for, I suppose, being there when Shane Warne decided it was time for him to bowl and time for Mike Gatting to walk back and think, what was that? How did I get dismissed? I didn't know what the ball was doing. You know what it was doing? It was spinning big time.
It was. Jeff Booth now into the attack as the All-Stars get through for a couple. So ticking along not too badly at the moment. As we're in operation at the moment from the Deakin Avenue end, just trying to get my bearings, Walshy, making sure that I'm knowing which end is north, which end is south.
That's good. I'm happy that you're doing that. This next ball is driven down the ground deep for a 1.
Timed that well.
It might even be 4.
Go.
Good grief. Timing. Magnificent.
Didn't overhit it, and it's one of those sort of outfields that I reckon the ball actually picks up momentum as it goes across the surface, and it just got away, didn't it, there? From Ferrugia, who was trying to get down low and put the stop on, and in the end goes all the way for 4.
None for 11. Isn't it funny? I don't know what the word is when something happens in your life and you think, that just couldn't have happened now, could it? Was someone working that out? The reason I'm mentioning it is that we had Dickie Bird playing in the same team as Michael Parkinson and also the same team later on as Jeff Boycott. Which is fair enough. That ball outside the off stump and a plane to miss. And I just found a book. I dug deep and thought, I know where this book is. And it was a book where interviews with Michael Parkinson that he enjoyed most of all. And one of them that he put in there was Shane Warne.
Warnie, yeah.
Just all those mixed bags. And what a wonderful character. Dickie Bird passing away at the age of 92.
Nicely bowled by Booth. Straightening up off a good length there. Wilton unable to find a gap on the offside that time. So decent comeback after going for the boundary. None for 6 in his first over. Score is none for 11.
Good start. Good start. That cricket too, the ground is in magnificent condition. This ball, a slower ball, and it's pushed down the ground on the offside up to mid-off and there's no run. Those that did well with the bat earlier on, Vincent got 64. And unfortunately, couldn't get closer to the 3 figures. And that was the problem because we had a few that got starts, but no one could go and get a big score.
Yeah, well, it looked like the big fellow Vincent was going to go all the way. He had certainly had time to bring up his century, but then hold out. Well, he was mid-run there, 64 from 35 deliveries. And just doing the quick maths. 54 of the 64 coming in boundaries for the big guy at the top of the list for the Firebirds. That's the way to play your cricket in over 50s. Hit the boundary and save having a run between the wickets.
A lot of honesty involved too because you don't have to actually reach the picketed fences. You've just got to go past those little discs that have colour.
Yep.
And they, of course, have to be sorted out beforehand and the measurements have to be spot on. And there's a bit of waving going on as we speak now. Waving out there, Darren Rasmussen, who was in the middle of those 3. What's going on out there? What would they be talking about, Patrick?
Too sure. The umpires are on the walkie-talkies. Our man Darren Cheek was called into action. We might be able to get some inside info from him a little bit later on in the piece, but looks like we're back and ready to go again.
Yep, well, with the completion of this over, I'll do one more and then we'll have Michael Kasprovic coming in to say hello and then we'll get Darren Cheek in.
I think it was a ball count. I think we've still got 1 ball remaining of this second over. That's appearing to be the case. So the umpire's just losing track of the numbers. Easy to do, Walshy. Very easy.
You looked at me as if you knew. What are you suggesting? No, that's good too. And we see Billy Bowden, who's there with the cap, the red cap at the bowler's end. None for 11. That's the score. Last ball of the second over is pushed away out towards cover. There's a thought of a run.
They'll get through too.
And they do too.
Yep.
That's good running too,
It is.
isn't it? Just tapping and running and they get through. None for 12. Wilton on 12 and Sosnick yet to score. The target is 182 with 5 wickets having fallen. 1 over further from me and then we'll have Michael Kasprovic will pop in and throughout the afternoon you'll hear the dulcet tones of Darren Cheek.
We will, yeah, looking forward to that. He's got his little red notebook full of data, stats and figures, so he's certainly bringing a lot to
Looks impressive,
our coverage.
doesn't
Yeah, no, he's ready to go. I think he paid us a visit Tuesday. He was the man that was off to the right waving his hands at us madly. We didn't pick it up from our periphery, but he was just getting a view of the MSP a couple of days prior to action, so he's all set and ready to go. So number 12, Smee into his second over. Bowling a nice line and length just outside the off stump. And the All-Stars not able to find a gap in the field.
We were very fortunate, and so too will our viewers be fortunate to hear the stories regaled by Michael Kasparovich. Michael, of course, one of many Australian fast bowlers who would have a story or two to tell. As this ball hit in the air, but safely, or will be, yes, just wide of extra cover, and they will come back. No, just the one. It was in the air for a fair distance. Home and running back couldn't get near it, and it's none for 13. But when you think about having to look after their bodies, and we talk about going to the subcontinent and making sure that their bodies are as good as ever, this ball down the ground and hit very high in the air, should be caught at point, and is not.
No.
Oh dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear, the ball sailing in the air. It might have bobbled around. We can't tell because we're not out in the breeze. But that one, it looked as if the fieldsman, who we'll pick up in a sec, was in good spot, but that wasn't the case.
He elected to have his hands, fingers pointing down for that one, just allowing a little bit more time. And it just got away from him in the end. There's a bit of a swirl of the breeze today. We've seen a couple of occasions where fieldsmen have just not quite had the judgment right, have they? They've just sort of let it go that little bit too long, and then it's got away from them at the end. And they'll be disappointed, the Firebirds. They're keen to make an early breakthrough here.
I think that's the third outfield catch we've seen now, and this one is splayed away behind point. That'll go all the way for 4.
The vein of a bowler. You miss out on the wicket the ball before, then you go for 4 the next.
Yes, that's lower than a footprint material, that, because there's nowhere to hide. When
No.
you drop a catch, you can't go anywhere. You can't say, I'm leaving the field for a quick you and me.
Well, you could try that. I'm not sure if the skipper would be obliging.
Oh, that's frustrations too, because when you've got 182 in the bank, it's not a massive score, but it's a competitive score. None for 18 now. And that's on leg stump, and that's dragged away on the onside for 4. Poor ball, delivered well by way of ball to bat, and that's gone down behind square leg and run along the ground all the way. And we can see disappearing down there. Brendan Walsh will pick it up. End of the over. None for 22 after 3. I'll leave you with it, Patrick, and we'll get Michael Kasparovich to pop in and say hello. I hope you're enjoying our coverage of this cricket from Mildura.
So none for 22 after 3 here at the Mildura Sporting Precinct. As the weather continues to warm up, we're up somewhere close to 30 tomorrow, which is probably not unseasonal for September here in Sunraysia. We can sort of be up and down like a yo-yo. But the sunshine is certainly being really taken in well by all and sundry as Michael Kasparovich returns to the booth. Great to have you back.
Oh, it's wonderful to be back, Pat. Just enjoying the sun myself, actually.
Yeah.
Outside, sun on the legs. Beautiful place, Mildura. First time here.
Okay.
For me.
Yeah, fantastic. Nice to have you in town. As we wait here again on the Firebirds. This booth is pitching up outside the off stump. Just a little bit of natural curve away from the right-hander, but no runs scored. But we've seen a couple of, Kat, we were just talking about it with Walsh, a couple that have gone down. That breeze is proving to be a bit tricky in the outfield, isn't it?
Seems a bit there. Could be the sun also too, up high up there. Look, I don't suppose everyone's having too much in the way of fielding training at the moment. But, yeah, never an easy one.
As that one's rifled down the leg side. And it's not going to take a bit of pad, so the umpire will have to signal the wide as, of course, part of the conditions of playing the extra limited overs format of the game. They're very, very stringent, aren't they, on those calls down the leg side of the umpires? They don't muck about.
No, always very sharp on that side of things. No room for error down there.
On the ball's taken nicely out into the onside. They've got a man patrolling the mid-wicket rope there, so they'll get back for a single. We were thinking they were going to get to 200 batting first, the Firebirds, but just lost their way the last couple, didn't they, to finish up at 182.
Well, they're going so strong early on, scoring so freely. Plenty of sixes in there, but Oh, it's hard, but it's a really good challenging score, but teams always love chasing.
The foolish lengths delivery, and that's hit nicely through the offside field, but once again, Firebirds have got their men in the right spaces, so just the single. None for 25, midway through the fourth over. Of course, power play number 1. So not as many men outside of the rope. So it's certainly a lot of strategy and a challenge for the skipper to make sure he's got his chess pieces sitting on the right part of the board.
You've got to make the most of it, haven't you, with that the fielding restrictions. Bowling really well here, though.
Just a bit of pace off. And the batsman just getting through it a little bit quick there. And it's a good stint, this one from Booth. He's bounced back nicely this second over.
I think it's a great over. He's actually bowling nice and full. The ball not quite coming on, perhaps. Maybe this the wicket a little bit slower. But, yeah, I like what he's doing. Nice and full and relatively straight.
This time just angling into the pads, and there's a gap to be found on the onside. Again, that man out in the deep is getting through some work, Mark Valetti, as he fires it back into the keeper.
It's cow corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
Traditionally, the deep mid-wicket is known as cow corner.
Yeah. That was more of a traditional on drive, more so than the big thrash to leg. But
clearing the front leg and just swinging hard, yeah.
Last ball of the fourth over. Booth again right on the money. They'll just get a single to the man that's just outside on the ring there. But tidy stuff, none for 12 from his 2, and 4 overs done, none for 27. The All-Stars are batting second, chasing a target of 183 set by the Phoenix Firebirds earlier in the day. We've got 3 other games going on around town too, Casper, so there's plenty of cricket to be had if you're a local or you're visiting, you're driving through. Plenty to see.
Yeah, and it's great cricket too. I think not just colourful, but there's form of the game 2020. We see that earlier on about it's good fun, and I think that's why we're seeing in the veteran age group a real burst of players coming back and wanting to be involved. It's a great concept, and everyone might have been playing a little bit of grade cricket in the day. There's a guy I saw at the airport actually, Harry Stavrakis.
Yes.
He's playing for the Tara team. I went to school with him.
Okay.
He'd stopped playing cricket when he finished school.
Right.
So there's even that, the ability to come back and just enjoy the game you love so much.
So back to live action. Ball is hit out through the offside. Nice bit of work in the field there. Would be Alex Num out there, is it, in the 13, who managed to prevent any boundaries scored, but they'll get through for another single. Yeah, it's interesting, Michael. We were talking to a couple of the Australian A boys on Tuesday about it's interesting to look from afar about some blokes do have a long time away and some only have a couple, but it must be hard to come back if you've had a long stint away. As we see one deposited over the rope on the onside for 6.
Deposited? It's gone all the way, didn't it? It wasn't... it was just... we were talking about that man at deep mid-wicket. For that reason, just there, he cleared the front leg, but just gave it to it, lifted over. Yeah, I think it's time-based, as we all know, with family, work commitments, all the rest of it. But when you get the chance and it frees up a little bit more, you can get back into cricket.
As again, they're going aerial, the All-Stars. That's going to go all the way down to the long on boundary for 6. So all of a sudden, they've almost picked up the sign for a bit of cash to go with it as well. So that's a great feature of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale, which we did see last year with the Hit Me for 6 signs. And there is the great man, Anthony Telfer, in shot. He's not missing out an opportunity as he's right adjacent to the 6th sign there.
$25,000.
Is that what it's worth?
$25,000 if you're able to hit that on the full.
Nice little earner, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. 75 metres.
Okay.
Is the distance. And with what we've seen with the bats they're using today, they're every chance.
Absolutely. I'm sure Jason Gordon, who's our local 6th man, would be concerned about whether he's digging deep into his pockets, but it's all, of course, for the greater cause. It's great to have that feature as part of this format of the game.
Do you share it? Is it like a...
Well, that's the conundrum, I guess. That's the conundrum. You'd like to think so.
I think you'd... that's all part of the spirit of cricket, surely.
Yeah, exactly right. Valetti just pitching up, and the ball again stroked nicely through the cover region. This outfield is quick, and it's going to race away for another boundary.
What a great over this is. None for 44 and 4.4 overs. So it's actually picking it up here, which is always the way.
Yep.
You can sometimes feel like you're going a bit slow, but geez, you can pick it up quick. The longer you're there, the easier it gets. And we're sort of seeing that, an example of that right now.
Yeah, one good over can make a massive difference, can't it? And this one so far, 17 from Valetti. He needs a comeback delivery here. What's he got? a wide. Not quite what he was hoping, but it didn't go for 4, I guess, is the only positive.
I'm just watching Billy again. Not as fancy as maybe the leg by, but certainly some good moves contained in that wide delivery.
Did he give you that sort of gear back in your day?
No, I think it's a little bit more exaggerated.
Okay.
Yeah.
For TV more so, you think? The live stream, yeah?
He was energetic, that's for sure.
This one full of pitch. It's again hit out through the offside. They haven't got the sweeper on the cover fence, so that is another boundary. What sort of over is this? It's certainly changing the dynamic of the game because the Allstars are starting to leap all over them.
22 off this over so far. Of course, there was a wide in there as well. So one more delivery left, being very beneficial.
None for 49. We'll take a break at the end of this over. Is just waiting to get their field set here, the Firebirds. Had made a pretty solid start, but it's come undone a little bit here. As this time it's right in the wheelhouse as it goes over the backward square boundary for 6. That was perfectly positioned. The batsman really got to position really early, didn't he, Michael? And absolutely hit through the line. It was almost a traditional half volley, that one.
Well, as I was saying, if it's in the arc, it goes out of the park. And it was nearly out of the park up in the vineyard up there. 28 runs off that over. Great over that. None for 55.
Every moment captured in real time. Wickets, boundaries, bowling, batting, all brought to life. Vision AI turns data into visuals for analysis, streaming and content. NV Play. Vision AI. The future of cricket is here.
Are you a batsman who's still training hard, still getting starts, but the big scores just won't come? It's not your technique, it's your process. Email the word SPIRIT to info@simplebatting.com and we'll show you the 3 simple steps serious batsmen are using to become the run scorer their team relies on, season after season.
Welcome back to the Mildura Sporting Precinct. RJR Allstars, the Phoenix Firebirds, our opener for the T20 components of the Global Spirit of Cricket Festivale. And the Allstars have really got some momentum rolling their way at the moment. As we see Mick Goff into the attack. And he'll be keen to put the anchors on, Casper.
Yeah, he certainly will. Looking at this, what are they scoring at nearly 11 if you round up, and then requiring nearly 9 from here.
So Goff gets into the zone there. Ball just hit through the gap on the offside, but they've got the sweeper in play, so they'll get back for a single. We've got you for another over because you've got some other cricket you need to be watching.
Well, not
right?
quite cricket, rugby union actually. Yeah, rugby union.
There you go.
And I say that only because my son Ed Kasparovich is playing for Australia in the under-18s in Canberra.
Fantastic. The balls are hit out on the offside. As we get a long shot of that, it's going to once again get past the cones out there and hit the fence on the full component of the boundary. So once again cashing in on a bit of extra width. Haven't quite got the radar set at the moment, have they, the Firebirds?
No, you find that too. I think, like I mentioned, the skills. You know, I mentioned earlier on, it's like riding a bike. You know, you don't sort of forget these things. And certainly when you see the ball that wide out of the hands, the feet get in the right position, it was there on a plate really.
Tom Ball has just tickled around the corner to the onside, and some good running and backing up. I think they'll get through for the single there. Decent hustle from Trevor Whittle out on the 45. Now, the Aussies, who are they coming up against in the rugby union?
Yeah, so it's Australian schoolboys team they're playing.
Okay.
And then they play in New Zealand.
Trans-Tasman rivalry.
Yeah, so that's on Monday, and then on Saturday, and I'm going to get to Canberra Saturday week to actually watch that. So looking forward to that. Have we got a little bit of an injury here?
Yeah.
I think.
Just got our third umpire.
Is that one of our sponsors? Is the Red Cross, is it?
we hope that it is, as we just have a brief pause here. None for 61. And it looks like it's Darren Wilton who's just come up a little bit short there. That quick hustle through. And they may well need a bit of physiotherapy attention here. He looks like he's going to kit up once again and try and tough it out. But we'll keep an eye on it, Mick, because as you said, the older you get, we're going to get a runner. So that's in true spirit of cricket fashion to help him out between the wickets.
Yeah, Max Wilton there. He's obviously done a little... I'm just going to go out and limb here.
Yeah.
And high performance hammy. Well, you reckon it's a calf? Maybe it's more a calf.
Look, the calf is the old man injury.
I think the old man injury, the calf muscle. Yeah, so maybe that. there's a simple way to do this, of course. Hit 6 and 4s. There's
Yeah.
no running required. So
That's the best bet. We did see a fair bit of that in the first innings. The guy who impressed us, it was David Vincent, who hit 6 4s and 5 6s in his 64. So that's the way to play, isn't it?
well, in this form of the game, of course, that's what everyone's looking for. But still, there's plenty of pressure on there. You're still not moving right. That's
No.
poor fella. It's always grubby. Just the feeling in through there and looking at it. So even clearing that front leg, if he is going to look to go over that mid-wicket area or even straight down the ground, there's a little bit of difficulty there.
You might just see him get through the rest of this over and then maybe take a stint on the sidelines as Goff this time and comfortably played through the offside. Nice stop to prevent it getting out towards the boundary. Maybe the man who's doing the running for him might have been able to power through for the quick single. That might have been the only way they would have scored on that opportunity.
It always adds some complexity out there when you've got 3 people.
Yeah, it does.
When you've got the guy, he did actually get the single there.
Now he's got to actually go to his right. I think he actually took off and made the run to the other end.
He did make the run, did he?
So he's now going to take his advantage spot up there at square leg.
Well, that's what I'm saying, complexity. So all of a sudden instinct takes over and you've got to get to the other end, but hobble to the other end maybe.
Yeah, it's more appropriate. Goff, none for 7, coming up for the last ball of his first over. This one is the 6th. Oh, it's full. It's down the leg side, and they'll take it for at least 2. But the round boundaries rapidly approaching. It's a good hustle, though, by Whittle to reel it in. I'll get back for a couple, and we might just let Michael go to watch a bit of rugby union, and we look forward to catching you a little bit later on in the coverage.
I'm coming back to watch plenty of this. Don't
I love
worry
it.
about that.
Good
Thanks,
on you.
guys.
Thank you, Michael. Fantastic work. Darren Cheek to pull up his headset, and Peter Walsh very shortly will be piloting you through the next half a dozen overs or so. We'll get to the drinks break at 10 overs, so Cheeky's just about ready to go, and we'll get you immersed. Maybe you were closer to the action there on the walkie-talkie in regards to that injury concern for the big fellow. What's the latest?
Yeah, I saw him run through, and it's looked to me like it's a calf, like Casper said. But like you guys said, I think it's a bit silly to continue on batting. T20 game, 14 overs left, no wickets. There's plenty of batsmen to come. Probably help the team more if there's a fresh batter. Look at him. He's got the whole week. He can hardly. But yeah, Max, he certainly has been hitting the ball around and worthy of having a go. But what do you think, Peter? Do you think it's a bit wide? Better to got a lot of games left.
Yeah, I know. Look, got to be careful too, because when there's an injury, that's the last thing that they want, because they're here for a reason. That's the players. And we had the performance, and I'll give you the information in a sec as we start a new over, and that's on leg stump and the attempted sweep. And I'm just watching as to where that went. I think it went straight through to the keeper, or best behind square. Yep. So we had Jess D. Tarsinski from Mildura. She's been a physio who's been doing some wonderful work for all of the cricket in the last bit, and she just was saying that if you're crook and we can treat you straight away, that's fine, but don't do anything that's going to make it a long-term injury. It's none for 64, Wilton 26 and Chosnick 36, 6.2 overs being bowled, and the target is, well, it's quite a gettable target. It's 183. It's next ball. We'll see what happens. He's hit lustily on the onside. He's hit it well over the top. Deck. Just didn't get over by all that much, but enough. And the blowing continues. The blowing with the bat on ball, and that was a lusty blow. As you can see, the cap takes off, and that goes for a dive because the breeze is picking up. None for 70, Wilton 32, and Chasnick on 36. It's big ground, massive ground, but when they stay hit, they go a long, long way.
I was about to mention the 2 dot balls before that came into his legs and he missed were a bit because of the calf, but he certainly has shown by the last 2 balls as he whacks another one over, flight over mid-on.
Lusty blowing. Wilton with another 6, or a maximum as you call it. It's gone to 38. Chasnick is on 36, and it's none for 76. And changes in bits and pieces in the world of cricket. I know for ages it was always the batsman comes in to strike a blow or whatever, but now it's the batter, and that's the official way in which we as broadcast have been told that we should describe it. As this next ball is turned around the corner, and that ball now is rolling towards Renmark.
Yes, well, it's getting closer to the river, that's for sure.
He just turned that round the corner, so it's dot ball, maximum 6. 4. So you add those up, 6 and 6 are 12 and 4 is 16, with 1 ball remaining in this over. And now we can see the performance in the red by number 16, Mark Smee, who's gone for a run, and he's going to chalk up some points there for exercise as he picks up the ball, which went straight through the fence out there, and he's come back, and that's a 4. So what are you doing on that? Give me the story, Darren, on it's been signalled as a 4, and Darren, of course, is working as the third umpire as well and has the walkie-talkie.
That was 100% a 6 there, horse.
So we're just checking to see what is going on. The umpire, that's Billy there, is having a chat, and we'll be able to confirm what's going on. It's been registered as a 6 now. It's been changed. So good work by the umpires. And the man who's working as Darren Cheek is the third umpire as well. What actually happened then, Darren?
Well, I don't know. I'm not really sure if it was because we didn't get the
slow-mo replay.
The vision of Billy with all his antics, and going by the score as they'd put it in as a 4. So possibly he did do his little sideward swishing shuffle that he does. But we could see that it easily went over for a 6, and as you said, on the way to the river.
It was bouncing away, so that's ... 6, 6, 6. Next ball, full toss down leg side, hit along the ground behind where the wicketkeeper has to run and watch it disappear into the distance. So for scorers, I know horses taking all of the scores. It's leg buys. I'll tell you what, 6, 6, 6. Now there's a 4 that's being signalled. Now this, in effect, could be with leg buys. That could have been one of the most expensive overs in this competition. 3 6s are 18 and 4 is 22. Now, I'm just not sure. That is the end of the over, so I'm reliably informed the end of the over. It's none for 86. No wicket for 86. And that's a bold performance, chasing 183 for victory, with Wilton on 44 and Chosnick on 36. Now we're just getting ourselves organised. A bit of finger pointing going on. Peter Walsh and Darren Cheek in the chair, joined, of course, by Pat Silcox and Michael Kasprowicz, who's ducked out for duties. And how exciting is it with his son playing for Australia in rugby union? And for those of you who are listening out to the young boy, we'll get Michael's thoughts. What a proud moment for a father in the ACT. That's where that game is on. And having your son representing his country. Of course, Michael representing his country when he played cricket for Australia. And we'll have bits and pieces, and we'll have more information as we progress. Now, we're just waiting for things to get sorted. Rasmussen gets himself into play, and we're almost back and ready to go. RJ Allstars versus the Phoenix Firebirds, 7 down, none for 86. There's a bit happening, if you don't mind, Darren.
Yes, there was a bit happening. Umpire Billy Bowden just pulled his authority there and pulled the runner and swapped him over for number 8 out there, because he was the next one into bat, apparently, the runner. So he's said that, look, you can't be here, we need to swap you over. So the number 8's come out. So it's good to be able to get a fresh runner every couple of overs,
absolutely.
Isn't it?
That's a full toss. A slow one, nearly bowled him down leg side. That was as slow as you would ever get. And he played almost before the ball had reached him.
Well, like you said, full toss, but it wasn't ended up anywhere near a full toss because of how slow it was, and it nearly had a second bounce and nearly a no ball before
it was everything. Now there's a bit of discussion going on with the umpires. That looks like the umpire there in Alan Owen, and they've called the no ball. Interesting. We'll get confirmation of what's going on. We'll see the setup. It's none for 86. Well, if it was a no ball, they'd be up by 1. We'll have to work out what is going on. It's changed now to none for 87, and they've given the signifiers a free hit. None for 87. Free hit to be taken. Wilton and Chosnick are the two that are in at the moment. And this ball is a full toss, and it's hit straight up in the air. Now, where's it gone? There's 3 or 4 fieldsmen around, and it's going to be caught. No, it's not.
My Lord.
It's not going to be caught. It looked as if it was going to be a catch that was going to be taken there. Oh, dear, that's disappointing. I reckon that was Tony Branston who came in. We'll have a look and see. Now, there's the swing and there's the hit, and it goes straight up in the air. Branston getting across, I think had his fingers on it, but unfortunately couldn't hold it. And I think from memory that might be, Darren, 5 outfield catches so far in this game, with the side that's batting second. I've spilled a couple on the side that batted first. They spilled 3, so there's some frustrations. 2 off the next ball. It's none for 89, 7.2 overs bowled.
And the disappointing thing is that they haven't been too hard, haven't been too tricky, the drop catches. They've just managed to make a meal of it, as they say.
Oh, disappointment. Now, this ball is swept in the air on the onside on the bounce, out towards the fieldsman who's fielding forward of square leg on the onside, and they're through for 1. And that saps the energy out of a fielding team when you think, all right, they've only got 182 in the bank, and it's now none for 91. Wilton 45, and Chesnick is on 38. This is a good partnership too. Best partnership of the day. That one, he drags it away from being outside the leg stump. He moved across to the offside, and he's pulled the ball viciously away on the onside. And we'll wait officially now for the signal from where we are. That's another 6. That's another maximum. The score racing towards 100. Wilton is not out, 51. And 7.4 overs are being bowled. And it's none for 96.
Possibly his nickname of Max must come from how many maximums he is hitting.
Well, he's hitting them with
There's another one.
A lot of strength, and he's hitting them powerfully. That one was right near the gate, so you don't even have to open the gate when you pick that one up. Picked up way, way, way out there by Trevor Whittle. And this is a powerful display, very powerful indeed, from the Allstars, who are none for 102. 1 ball left in the 8th over. This is magnificent batting.
And at the start, the first 4 or 5 overs, we're thinking that maybe the score was a bit high for them to get to, but now they're up to 13 runs and over.
Yep. It's a touch of magic. That's outside the off stump and hit along the ground, and there's some Bronx cheers coming through from the small but enthusiastic gathering, because at least that ball touched some grass as it sped away, and that's the completion of the over. Some frustrations being experienced out there. The fieldsmen not doing the right things in terms of taking those catches, which is so important. None for 102. Partnership 102 off 49 deliveries. You guessed it. 49 deliveries. Wilton 57, and Chesnick is not out, and he is 38. Peter Walsh and Darren Cheek here. Of course, we've got Pat Silcox and the man who's gone to listen to his son playing sport for Australia is Australian fast bowler Michael Kaspovich, who'll be back to report on that right throughout the afternoon. But a massive start, Darren, and they're rolling along very, very smoothly.
Absolutely. Like you said, that run rate with Wilton's 57 off of 32 balls, and Kosnick, he's only faced 17 balls for his 38.
102 off 49 deliveries. You know, when we listened to 50 over cricket many years ago, when you got a third of the way through and you were 17 overs down, if you had 100, that'd be a really good start.
Absolutely.
Not anymore. New over, outside the off stump, the first ball is cut well, forward of point for 1. It runs along the ground all the way, and the ball is delivered back on the bounce. Some frustrations creeping in, 103 for no wicket at the start of 8.1 overs now. Massive.
It comes in again, and he's just leaned back, and bang.
It's gone again.
Has that bounce just on the line.
Well, I reckon
that
it's gone
was
again.
very close. Yes, Billy's going for his little side shovels. Off he goes.
Yeah, this is really aggressive batting, and this is what people want to see because it's 20 overs, it's not 45. We still saw some scores, some high 200s when the 45 overs were thrown into vogue. And that one there is a tight call. It's been given a 4, but I'll tell you what, that might, when I say that might have to be changed, I don't know how they can change it because they bowled another ball.
Do we change it?
Not sure what the
Yes,
setup
but
is.
possibly we might discuss that later because it's not, being a 4 or a 6, it's not affecting the play out there that they've continued on. So it could be just something to fix up in the scorebook later on.
You'll fix it
but
up
we wouldn't want to have them lose by 1 run and then we go out and tell them that, would we?
No, well this ball
Maybe
now
the drinks break, we'll have a chat.
That's gone all the way for 6, that one. That's a massive blow.
Yep.
Billy indicates, yep, that's gone.
And he's off.
What a hit that was. This is magical batting. Wilton 73 off 35. That's more than 2 a ball. Chosnick is 39 off 18. It's none for 119. 8.4 overs have been bowled. In this over, 1, 4 makes 5, makes 6, makes 11, makes 6, makes 17 runs. Whereas earlier on, Darren, I think it was 22 off 1 over. I reckon that was our best.
Yep.
Well, this
was it? 3 6s and a 4.
Yeah, and this one is smashed down the ground. And that one is...
That's a big hit. That
just
one's
about gone into where the vines are taking place and growing beautifully.
If he wants to hit the 6 sponsorship sign, then I think he needs to hold back a bit and not quite hit it so hard.
This is monstrous. We did see, and we made mention too, of Fazal Malam, who was the United States of America captain. He bludgeoned 6s at will, and of course they've gone home now. They've gone home leaving behind a lot of friendships that will be made and stored forever. And he could hit the ball a fair distance, this ball. The attempted work away past the wicketkeeper. It went straight to ground and ran down to short third man, and there's no run.
Well, we put Pat put the commentator's curse on in the first innings. We're talking about he could get 100 here, but Wilton certainly could be getting the first 100 in this T20 competition, which is incredible to get 100 in that many overs, isn't it?
You'd have to say that he's on song for doing just that, and that good on him too. Now, whilst that's happening, let's have a look. We've got to understand also that whilst all that's been happening, we've still got our injured player out there. So we've still got the runner. And there's the blue boy. And there's number 1, who looks magnificent in his blue, Glenn Kosnek. None for 125 off 9.
Ooh,
and how dare you play such a defensive prod forward?
Yes, he did put it in the nice spot, but you'd think the way he's cruising along, he might have given that a week.
Yes, that'd be. You just put down your sandwiches and your coffee, just so that if the ball's coming towards you, you're going to get out of the way. That ball has him on the back foot. That's not a bad delivery. Pushed away on the offside, and there's no run. And it's still 125 without loss. 9.2 overs have been bowled. Target's 183, and they're running there towards it with surety. That ball is swept magnificently.
That is a good shot.
That's like a tracer bullet.
He took it outside off on his toe and swept a straight backward square. What a good 6 that was.
It was travelling. Magnificent blow. Chesnick saying, well, OK, you're up to 79, I'm up to 45. We both can't get tons.
Yep.
I might catch up a little bit. None for 131. Probably the shot of the match. That's a full toss, and he hits that one in the air. That's gone.
Hits a nice shot along the ground with that one. It's interesting you said too about Wilton. He's the injured man, and since we spoke about whether he should be continuing on with his injury, he's probably hit about 5, 6 maximum since then.
Yeah, although I still think about the visit that we had from Jess, the physio, and she's talking about calf injuries and dicky hamstrings and those sorts of things that wear and tear. They need to be iced fairly quickly. And what's happening is the injury is being kept out there, and so too is the batter, as this one has punched away out towards the boundary, and it's going to go all the way. I'm looking for a fieldsman out there, but the ball's there, and it runs into the fence for 4. So we're getting towards the end of the 10th over, and it's 139 without loss. The run rate, it's over 10 and over. That is extraordinary.
Well, the ball's running along the ground, beautiful, isn't
beautifully.
it? The sun's come out and the dew's come off the ground from the night, and it's just purring along the carpet.
Chesnick's reached his century. He's not out 53. That ball outside the off stump is hit for 4. Off the back foot, punched out through extra cover, and the ball runs away and will go through for another boundary.
And it should be drinks.
Oh, I hope it's drinks, because they'd be thirsty. None for 139 moves to none for 143. With Chesnick on 53, he's batting magnificently. He's the man who's doing well with the partnership with he and Wilton, who's 79. Is now 143 in 44 minutes. None for 143, with drinks now on the ground.
Alliance Biograin grows organic grains for strength, vitality and joy. Every grain carries the strength of the land, bringing real nourishment to every table. Because health isn't just about eating well, it's about living fully. Organic nutrition meets senior cricket. Alliance Biograin and CCMC, nourishing seniors, one meal, one match, one moment of joy.
What's going on?
That's you.
What do you expect me to do about it?
It's time.
It's time to see my mates at CPAP Direct. They help me get my sleep apnea sorted, and they offer good old-fashioned customer service and support. CPAP Direct not only have the latest technology in sleep testing, CPAP machines and masks, they can help you too.
You can leave the mask on.
What?
None for 143. Patrick Silcox creeps back in. People have been saying to me, why won't he take his cap off so we can see what damage was done with the hairdresser yesterday? And still, he doesn't respond. First ball of the first over after drinks is hit back down the ground for 6, and it did not miss the hit me for 6 sign by much,
No,
Patrick.
It almost cleared the fence, which is another 20-odd metres behind where the boundary cones are. So that's a huge strike. And wowee, haven't they jumped into this run chase? The RJR Allstars, none for 149, started the 11th. And we're talking, obviously, in that first session, Pete, when the Firebirds were batting, that Vincent certainly had plenty of time to chalk up 3 figures. Well, you reckon Maxie Wilton's got a huge opportunity here?
Well, we don't want him to get out now. We want him to make the 3-figured result as he smashes the next ball for 4. It's hard to tell where we are. The ball going so quickly. If there were speed cameras out there and they were speeding, I just wonder how quick a ball could actually travel, because it's off that blade. It's being looked at and hit with authority. You'd reckon that it'd be pretty quick.
Very, very much so. None for 147. And this partnership is really blooming, isn't it? 36 to win, 59 balls remaining. Oh, and that one's just angled down the leg side. Big fella couldn't quite get underneath that one. And no run scored. But, gee whiz, to say they need a wicket or two, Peter Walsh, is probably the understatement of the year.
Well, yes, it looks like this game's out of reach, but what they want to do is they want to have the ball hit in the air and someone take a catch. So he backs away and hits the ball hard off the front foot.
Majestic.
He's injured, so he can't run too fast, and he's hit that ball deep out into the region of cover point, and they get through for just the one. You can see him at the far end going for a walk. Doesn't look to be travelling too well, does he?
You just wonder how much of a role he's going to play going forward. This is going to take a lot out of the tank, I reckon, physically and mentally. Ferrugia pitches, and that's nicely struck down the ground. And gee whiz, the fieldsman's got to work hard there because it was struck powerfully. So I'll just get through for the single. So number 155. Sosnek is now 58. Wilton is 90 off 41.
Yes, you'll get the ton, and you'll get well rewarded with those that are here today enjoying what is a magnificent display with the bat. So much confidence being played as he hits the ball off the front foot, and that'll reach the 4 boundary again. It's perfectly placed.
Yeah, he is timing them absolutely brilliantly, and I reckon he's a man on a mission here. Get to the 3 figures, and then off he comes. I reckon he'll retire and let someone else come out and have a go at it. Mind you, there's not that many runs to play with, is there? 24 to win from 54 deliveries. And my goodness, when we had that innings break, Peter Walsh, we were sitting here thinking 182 is going to take some work. Well, they have done it in a canter so far.
They have. Jasnek faces the next ball and hits straight down the ground, long and lusty, and it bounces. And did it go all the way for the maximum?
That might be his 100, Walshy.
It's hard to know.
Just waiting on a... it's going to go all the way. That will be the century, we reckon, for the big man, Maxie, as he just bends over, trying to take in some oxygen. Bit of a conjecture between the men out in the middle. Does he stay on to finish the game, or does he just take a spell?
Yes, we're just waiting for the score to
there
be adjusted.
There we go. He's now celebrating. Look at him. He's a happy camper. What a fantastic opening to his Global Spirit of Cricket T20 Festivale. 100 from 43 deliveries, 10 sixes, 7 fours in 50 minutes, striking Walshy at 232.56. That is outstanding.
Given that he's shaking like a dog, razor blades, because he's injured, his body's wobbling, his body is telling it, we've got some pain, and you'd expect as soon as he leaves the ground, he'll have to be treated straight away. You'd presume the ice would be waiting. I hope he hasn't done any damage for the rest of this frenetic action that we've got for the next few days.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Pete. So none for 165, just 18 required now. This time the ball's taken out towards the third man boundary. Not sure they've got anyone on the rope out there. That's another boundary. My goodness. We're going to be done in about the next 5 minutes here, Pete. What are your plans for lunch?
No, we've got Uber bringing some food here.
Fantastic.
I think that's the story. We'll get a few taxis to pull up and you can go and hail them down, and we'll get the big horse from the scoring area over there to grab hold of some tucker, I think.
Yeah, okay.
You happy with that?
We'll play that card, I reckon. There's a tough old day at the office here for Alex Nunn as he's looking to try and work through this. In fact, it's Goff, beg your pardon, working through his second over, Nunn for 13. This time he's bowling into the pitch, and they're going to take advantage of no one deep again at third man, another 4. Score is Nunn for 173 in this, the 12th over. And Sosnek also really getting amongst it now. 66 from 27, Walshy. This is an amazing partnership.
It is, yeah. It'll be hard to even get anywhere near it when we see the games that are being played. But of course we've got games this afternoon and this evening, and then it's not hit and miss. We have a day off on the Saturday, a rest day, but there's so much going on, and to be able to get yourself into a good position, we'll go through some of the other scores a little later on, but this is memorable. None for 173. Wilton not out 100. 10 sixes and 7 fours. That's 60 and 7 fours, 28. That's 88 runs in sixes and fours. And he can't run.
No, it's worked out well for him in the end. We thought he might have come from the field initially when he had the strain, but he's powered through. As golf continues. Asked the umpire there, but angling down the leg side. And there's no run.
Have you ever had, and I'm being serious here, with injuries? I don't know what a tweaked hamstring is, but I did a calf muscle once.
Yep.
And, I was sort of wobbling around and getting absolutely no sympathy from anyone. But these blokes here just seem to run through the injuries, run through the pain barrier.
Yep, certainly do. This one's a ball of fuller length, and it's squeezed out to the offside. They've got a man there on the deep point boundary, so they'll get through for a single. As now the equation is 9 to win from 50 balls remaining. Still 10 in the shed, Pete.
Yep. And when this game does wrap up, I see Michael Kasperovich has wandered through and will be back to have a chat to us after this game is settled. I think we can have a few minutes with Michael and get some information regarding a junior Kasperovich playing for his country. What an exciting time that would be. And of course, Dad has been kind enough to be with us and to display the magnificence of the man in being one of the better Australian quickies. We had a lot too, but he's got a few stories to tell and we'll get them off him. None for 174.
Is this one just darting back into Wilton there? He just defends
Have
out
a
into
go,
the
you
onside.
mug. Come on. Have a go. We're not here to look for nothing. We're looking for you to have a go.
He's got into his shell, Pete. So 12 overs gone. None for 174. Wilton is 100. And Sosnek, his ally at the other end, is certainly ticking them over very nicely. 67 off 29. Just quickly, Pete, we'll go around the grounds, have a look and see what's going on. Altrincham Oval in goal. Territory Blasters batted first in that game, finished with 7 for 150 in the first session. In reply, Saxon Kings, a 2 for 97 off 13. So they need 54 from 42 with 8 wickets remaining. At the Mildura Senior College, Sandcrapers batted first, made 6 for 163. The Tara Taverners, none for 88 in the 11th. As we wait here on Ferrugia once again. Fullish length ball, it's taken across the line out to the deep on the onside. It might have just bounced in front of the markers there. But still, a great result for the RJR Sports All-Stars. They take their tally to none for 178. So fantastic work there. As we mentioned, Tara Taverners, none for 88 in the 11th, 76 to win off 58 with 10 wickets remaining. And at the John Hall Oval, EV2 Cricket, 6 for 133, so a bit of a midship sort of score, but they certainly started well with the ball as we see more runs here for the All-Stars as it goes down the ground. Nicely fielded in the end. And they might sneak through for a couple. I think they will. Lightning Storm Walshy, 4 for 68 in the 11th over. So they need 66 from 57, but just the 6 wickets remaining.
That'll be good. This one, well, it's a formality. But the interesting part about it is we don't know about just how serious the injury is to Wilton, who's 100 not out off 45. And he, of course, can't say, well, look, I'll rest up for a few days, just go quietly, a few ice baths, just steady down. You get yourself organised to play in the afternoon of today and then tomorrow. And I hope he hasn't done any irreparable damage to the body so that he misses any of the games in the future, because although he doesn't have to run much, if he hits 4s and 6s, he's doing just that. And that's hit straight back down the ground, a lusty blow for 4.
That's the game,
and that's it, all over Red Rover. That was hit smack down the ground, over pitched, and Wilton remains not out on 104 off a lazy 46 deliveries with 10 6s and 8 4s. That's minimum. My biro ran out about 3 overs ago. Chesnick not out 74. That is a monstrous performance. The handshakes are plentiful, and Wilton settled down. He's going to walk off, but even with the betterment, of course, of our cameras and the production crew doing a wonderful job and getting up close and personal and having a look at the man there, number 2, who, when he starts to walk, and I'm not in any way having a go at him, but he's definitely limping. He's not lower than a footprint, but he's struggling, isn't he, out there?
Yeah, he is. He certainly is. We'll quickly have a look at the cards from the game, Walshy, before we sign off from our first of 2 games today here at the Mildura Sporting Precinct. Of course, it was the Phoenix Firebirds who won the toss, batted first. We'll just quickly go through their card. Branston, LBW Stone for 16. Vincent caught Sosneck bowled Homan for 64. Ferrugia caught Sosneck bowled Lavender for 26. Hardy caught Lavender bowled Correlage for 36, and Whittle caught Stone bowled Lavender for 17. Our batsman was Chatton on 13, so 5 for 182 after 20. We sort of figured that's a pretty decent score, but didn't prove to be the case, because in the second session it was all about the men in blue. As we can see, the wind really picking up over the back blocks here at the back of the Mildura Sporting Precinct. Wilton and Sosneck going through undefeated, none for 185. Midway through the 13th over, Wilton 104 from 46 balls in 57 minutes with 8 fours and 10 sixes. And Sosneck was 74 from 32, also in 57 minutes with 9 fours and 4 sixes. What a display from the All-Stars.
185 runs, and they still had 44 balls remaining. Let's get serious. That's probably going to be one of the most, if not the most, emphatic results that we will see in this competition. And it's the first game that we've seen of many, so our eyes will be square-shaped after we've finished watching for the next few games. But that one was worth watching, and it did appear towards the finish that there were not enough fieldsmen to put out there around the boundaries, because he was hitting 4s and 6s so readily.
No, not at all. So we get a bit of an early jump on the lunch over at the Mildura Senior College with any luck. Walshy, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that. And, of course, we're back later on tonight from 6:30 here at the Mildura Sporting Precinct for the game between EV2 Cricket and the Saxon Kings. So we'll be back later on this evening.
Thank you to the production crew who've worked diligently at their trade in giving us all the details. And thanks to Michael Kasprovic and Darren Cheek for their assistance. Peter Walsh, on behalf of co-commentator Pat Silcock, saying thanks for watching live from Mildura, the start of yet another day of frenetic action in cricket, the Festivale. Back soon.